Oh shit!
I'm like, no, we're good.
Bro, here.
Here?
What up, AJ? We're just getting things rolling, cleaning up some stuff. My area was so messy, dude. I moved like 2 boxes and fixed everything.
You online?
Yeah, he hopped in and said, what's up?
How far out is he? Bring me a lighter!
If it's possible, AJ, stop and grab Kenny a lighter. He's here.
The door's open. Just say hi to Mom. Oh, Sebo, how you doing, bro?
$300 spans? Yeah. I'm making a trays and dude, all I have to do is have snap nomination, greens, and the salt in my grain.
Anyways, that's it.
Or
what I didn't know I had.
Operations in there. I just milled until I get things right in there, and I just went. And it's a wonder.
I didn't know I had this.
Oh, so you bought the kill team and the starter.
Yeah, a long time ago. Never got
Kenny's
built.
just secretly sitting on 2 Warhammer armies this whole time. Well, no, actually, you did only have a little bit of the
Yeah, I only have this one.
Oh yeah, check this out, dude.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Those are dope. Did you get more of these?
Yeah. Whole box of them.
Well,
Well, part of a box. Got made yesterday.
don't worry, they're a little small. I don't like that. I want the writing to feel bolder on next batch.
You guys should look into the dot also. The what? The dot? Have you seen the dot? The dot's dope, dude. It's a business card, and all you have to do is touch something.
What version is this? Yeah, I told you I had some kill team shite.
Which is the most powerful army? The Necrons?
Necrons right now is killing it. But
How do they go through phases?
the Necrons, they do editions like D&D kind of. They're about sometime in the next 6 months to a year they're releasing 10th edition. They'll probably release it when the show releases on Amazon.
Oh, that's right. They're making a new one.
But Necrons got their new stuff early. So right now they're just dominating everything, but once they release the rest of the edition, they'll probably, oh wow. Okay, and I told you that guy was yours. Isn't he? Or that was in, I thought he was, oh yeah, there's the
This box looks
Put 'em up there.
This box looks like it's old, right?
It is. It's 2 years old. And I can't
What up,
believe-
Steve? We're just going through some Warhammer stuff really quick. Kind of reviving the studio, you know what I mean? I can't tell what
I'm gonna go to live.
you can.
Did he sit on a whole bed right here?
Maybe. look what we're talking about.
All right, sorry, Steve. Audio only. We're coming up here. Moving to live. So I'm finding a bunch of stuff I didn't know I had.
You had a whole box of Death Knights.
Apparently, I bought the Kill Team plus a bunch of Death Knights. So I've got quite a good start, man. I can't wait to show you when you come over, man. I didn't realize I had this much. This is kind of cool. So we're still kind of in the setup mode.
So this codex is probably still good for 10th edition.
Cool.
If they will release a new codex if they update.
Okay, I don't know why I have so many unless I have built some of those.
Did you open the box?
No.
I got 12 plus a boss. So I'm gonna have 24 Death Watch with a boss. With
This is your captain unit. So this is the captain unit for the unit. That's a name figure. So he's a unit by
so
himself.
I basically have a pretty decent start on a Death Watch.
You've got 2 armies.
Woohoo! That is so cool. I didn't know I had that.
Now I'm behind everybody. Everybody's behind Steve.
Well, and look at this. I mean, I bought this too forever ago. You know, so what I want to do is pull these out, or cut these out, and put the metal plates, or put the metal plates underneath these. But see, even this, I don't want these to roughen. You know what I'm saying? But this was designed for that. all I gotta do. So then I have to get a new one of those though, right?
Probably. I think they released a new one with the Octarius book. They don't mark editions in the books though. You have to look at the publication date and compare it to the current edition book.
I'll have Steve look at it when he comes over.
Yeah. Steve knows. Steve will
Oh
make it
man,
easy for
dude.
us. Steve will make it easy for us.
I found so much cool shit. I just went and pulled out all my
So,
unknown of Warhammer shit, my boxes and everything. You want me? I'll show you. So I found this. So no video. Okay, so I got a Death Watch. Start collecting Death Watch. This is from a few years ago. It's got 12 in it. I got the Death Watch Codex, which I believe is still good. I'll have you check it out when you come over. And then I got another kill team. Oh, I got 12 figures built. One name. I mean, this is crazy. So, I mean, this start collecting Death Watch. It has a big, I don't know what the hell it is in it. Mechanic. What is that, Joe? Dreadnought?
That's a dreadnought.
So it's got a dreadnought? Shit! You're gonna have to do the point value for me, dude.
But these are also might be. Oh no, these are newer minis. These are the bigger ones. I thought they might be the small ones, but
I mean, they're only about 2 years old. I mean, they're from the old game grid.
Death Watch. So you don't have Death Guard, you have Death Watch.
Death Watch.
Death Guard is Chaos Army.
Death Watch is not, right?
Death Watch are like the guys from factions that had traders, and they basically all joined one big faction to make up for their faction going traitor. So
I know there's a bunch of different.
They abandon all their sigils. They wear the black armor, and
But they still wear the emblem from the different units they're from.
I don't know. I know
That's what I was told.
I know they used to not even change their armor. Like,
Well, we'll
at the
figure it
beginning
out.
of it.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, Kenny just found a treasure trove of shit, dude. I forgot to change the banner. Remind me to do that tonight so I can make it bigger.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, we're gonna run this stream till about 4:35, and then we're gonna take a little break and reset and eat and come back on tonight. It's gonna be basically a paint stream day all day, pretty much. I think. We got a couple visitors coming by. Steve, you're coming by. We've got AJ here now visiting us for a second. We love to show off our shit, so you can see in Joe's camera when you're watching, those that are watching, if anyone is watching. So, anyway, yeah. Ready to have a good day. I'm ready to go. I got so much caffeine in me, I can barely see straight.
So they're like the one glimmer of silliness.
Dude, you so naughty.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to come add up the point value of this Death Watch. I might not have to add very much for that to have a good base army, 500 point or so. Might already have that even.
That's hilarious.
On Death Watch, you are more than 500 points.
He said Joe says I'm more than 500 points.
Got pulled out, dude.
You have a dreadnought, dude.
There's no deadly rock in here. That sucks. That sucks. Because this is the deck Deadly Rollick comes in.
Went through a bunch of my cards. This is like $400.
Yeah, I didn't realize I had that much shit. Joe thinks my Estradi code book is good too. I I'll have you look at my core manual. Because I have a guillotine core manual, but it might be an old one. Skirmish in the 45th century, 41st century.
Deadly Rollick wasn't in the UK, but I've never seen it. Yeah. Dude, it's so funny. Like, you can still buy the 5-core computers for
You know, now that I'm looking at this too, hey,
Amazon. But the
what's up, Aspire? Thanks for coming in.
sorceries are worth $250. So you can buy the whole fucking, all 5 decks.
We're talking a bunch about. I went through all my my game closet and found a whole bunch of Warhammer stuff. So we've decided to switch gears here and move a little bit more from the fantasy and do a lot more of the D&D. Oh, I gotta cut this out and hang it up. Look at that picture. That's a bitchin' picture. Oh, you can't really see it on that camera.
Show it on your face cam. I'll look through those after I fucking make them.
I gotta get that up on the wall. That's cool looking. We're gonna kind of change the vibe of the studio here, make it a little bit more Warhammer friendly than fantasy D&D. Oh, here's another. See, I don't want to be cutting all this book up though, man.
Shit, dude. I had,
Oh, that's just 1,000 Suns. Ha ha ha. Ah.
I'll take a Bloodforge.
They're cool pictures
I
though.
use the real Bloodforges as my tokens in my rogue backpack. Want another one?
I think it's only like $1 a card. I pulled stuff that was like $1 or more.
I got the Stained Glass card. Where is it? Is that yeah, I didn't realize. What's your awesome? Yeah, dude, it's fucking stupid.
I don't see the date of print on this damn thing though. So anyway, so yeah, I got about 23, 24 Death Watch with a Dreadnought. Makes that army very doable. All right, let's switch gears and get some painting done. Hey, Joe, I have an idea. Why don't we do something different today? Let's paint. Here, I'll share. But my name's Kenny. It's not Sharon, all right?
Surely you can't be serious. Say it. Say it.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. Oh, we gotta do this.
So this guy's close to done now. I've got a few more spots I want to hit with some contrast. I missed the gold lettering there.
That's true, Steve. That's true.
The silver is blinding on the camera. That's not too bad today, though.
Different position? Maybe?
Yeah, I have the camera angled a little bit more. There's also... Oh, no, there's no.
Oh, I gotta get that one light set off behind us. My head blocks it, but your head isn't big enough.
Let me just... Oh, wrong way. I could block it with my head, Kenny. See, you don't know me.
Yeah, so I definitely have a captain and one named figure, right?
Yeah.
So... So yeah, I'll build the Death Watch and add a little bit to that. I'm gonna get the Orc Boys up to 1,000 point though.
Name characters add so much point to a unit. Like my Commissar Yarrick is 105 points.
But he gives bonuses, don't he?
He gives like really good bonuses. Reroll ones.
Yeah.
The tank commander. So just in the tank commander and Commissar Yarrick, I'm at like 200 and some change points. Almost 300, I think. I guess I better get down to Gajo and buy some League of Votan and some Deathcore of Krieg.
Is that what you're gonna do?
I'm gonna do Cadian, Votan, and
Oh.
Deathcore.
The Deathcore, the ones with the mask that we saw yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Joe's favorite.
My favorite.
Weak, but deadly.
Dude, so the Deathcore are so gung-ho, like they will just like feed themselves into the grinder.
Yeah.
And it's so bad that sometimes they cause negatives to the other units in your military. Because they just be fucking...
They just want to go for it.
Their planet was basically in a civil war for so long, and they finally fixed it, but the planet became irradiated. And then they were like, well, we won the Civil War for the Emperor, and they were like, no, you took like 8 years to win a Civil War. You should be ashamed. And so now they grow people in vats, train them, and just feed them to the military. Like, they just en masse. They pay the highest like man tax in the Imperium.
Don't ask me to explain what a man tax is, because that's above my pay grade.
I would love to make a cure.
Dude, there's a competitive 97 land wasteland deck that uses this card.
Approach of the Second Sun.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Approach of the Second Sun, the colorless artifact from Strixhaven that you pay for and get Wooburg.
Oh yeah.
And then you can copy your next thing, so you basically scry to this next sorcery. So you can win on turn 4.
Go to my
Because you
blow up
can
glasses. Not,
scry
yeah,
this
glasses. I said
casting,
glasses.
Then you have to have Narset's reversal in your hand, and you cast Narset's reversal with the Wooburg, and then you get, because you copy your second one, and then you cast this again from your hand, and then you win the game.
Dude, that's so funny.
I was like, I kind of actually want to make that. I don't think I have enough of this plan. Dude, this would be your kind of deck. You should make a slicer deck. Dude, I watched a competitive
All right.
thing on YouTube with it. It is the most fucking disruptive deck in the world.
So I want to get some red out here and do a little bit of touching up. Very first thing.
Oh my god.
Let's read the back.
So you could just be pinging everybody with double
You ping
strike.
everybody, but then everybody pings everybody else when they get control of Slicer. So Slicer gets passed around the table and you're just sitting fucking pretty.
And he doesn't... Oh, he has haste. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. That's actually fucking sick, dude.
Dude, you should make a mono red deck.
Just three mana. That's actually way good. What, do you just make him your...
You make him make mana. Cast him, and basically everybody else, it's like goad, but in a tricky way, and everybody pings each other out, and it's super disruptive. I needed this. Library lane card. How
That
funny
one's
is that?
Library of Lang, dude. That's what you need for the Necropotence deck, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Do you want a spicy or I want spicy for sure. Do you want a spicy or a classic?
Yes.
Spicy. He's a spicy man. He likes to bitch about it the next day,
Hey, which edition is this? You know?
just like me.
Next up.
That would probably be Unlimited.
It has no.
I think Unlimited is the one that's not actually worth very much, right?
No, the unlimited one is expensive.
You like it spicy too, huh, hey, Aspire?
Unlimited's more than beta. Beta is 61. Alpha doesn't have a price, but its mid is 4 grand.
I think that might be it. 4th edition had the stamp, though.
It could be revised edition.
Probably revised. That's like when my Urza was super budget.
It's revised. between me, so that's 10.
Oh, word.
Dude, glasses at Urza's 20 cents.
What is it? Tap, look at the top card of.
No, look at opponent's hand. But it's a 1-drop.
You bring enough food for the whole chat? Steve Aspire wants to know. I don't think he's. I mean, why would he bring food for the chat?
Did you bring enough for the class?
Am I gonna like? Do you have a way for me to teleport it through the camera to you, man? I don't know.
Just fax it, dude.
Or I can. Yeah, I can fax. What? That don't work.
Have you tried?
No, and I'm not gonna, because it don't work.
Dude, the foil's cheaper than the regular for double masters. Forge.
That's so funny.
It's 11 cents cheaper. So this is 26.
So I think I got these all done yesterday. Or at least ready for... Oh, there's some I missed. Well, we'll fix this. Keep going on. Oh, yeah. Don't get between me and the food. You might get bit, man.
You sounded like my dog for a second.
I've been called a dog before.
She's part Chihuahua.
I've been called a dog by prettier girls than you.
That's debatable.
Oh, you always say that because you're a master debater. There we go again. Family friendly. He's going rabid. See, and because we quit last night, Peyton, about 10 o'clock, and covered up our pallets,
Jealous is 26 bucks.
and we're back at it
25?
within, you know, just
no,
over 12 hours.
Down to
I'm using the same paint I laid out yesterday,
Mike does. What does he do?
and I'm not having a problem with it. I had to water down the red a little bit, but oh, everything else seems to be working just fine.
These are all market price.
So
Yeah, market prices.
that's the benefits of a wet pallet, and it would even be fresher if my lazy butt would have got up and put it in the refrigerator. So that's a good trick
I was gonna sell him to Mike for his.
for those of you who
So are these
paint and do
considered
this.
Static or triggered?
You can actually get your wet pallets and the paints on them to last you a long time.
Okay, so that would work with.
But I tried to only put enough paint out for that day. I just got a little carried away last night,
It's activated and triggered abilities.
and I knew we were going to be right back
So
at
my
it
second
today.
question is, does he just automatically get
So-
triggered abilities and equipment?
And I really want to work on these pipes and get them done now because
I'll pull it up.
obviously I have two armies of my own I want to paint, and I still have a lot of paint to do for Steve and for Larry. So tomorrow, is tomorrow Wednesday?
Yep.
Tomorrow is normally what Joe and I consider our off day. However, I'm going to be painting my own shit tomorrow. I'm going to get started painting the Death Watch because it's built and I don't have to glue it.
Viridian longbow.
I need to grab that Paradise Gate too.
Yeah, I need that.
So, and we're going to start doing that. We're going to start taking, so our normal days off are usually Wednesday and Sunday, but those days we're going to still, I think, for a while get together.
That's
So
the
he and I
plan.
can get our personal stuff painted. During our business hours, we're going to paint for the customers, for our commissions. And then, on our personal time, we'll try to knock it out of the park, get our armies ready so we can start hosting and streaming live Warhammer games. That's my goal. And I've got enough table space. I think we can have 2 Kill Team games going at once.
You could have 2 like big games.
We could have 2. What are they called again?
We could not do Apocalypse.
We could do one Apocalypse. I'll build my Orc Boys to 1,000 points before we do an Apocalypse, Steve.
Do you know
Oh, no.
Oh, that's
15, 2,000 points. What's your Oh, your Necrons are probably way out here, aren't they?
Dude, so there's... What was the one? Untap it, put it on counter. So basically, what I was thinking is Trescadillion. Stuff you try.
Trescadillion?
Yeah, whatever that one. It's like the same thing as Latin Ballista, but a little bit more complicated.
Whose dick is he filling?
No, Trescadillion is if you have 13 in your hand.
Oh, no, this is the artifact. Trescadillion.
Ooh, you're over
yeah.
5,000? Okay. I'm not going to do 5,000.
We'll get there, Steve.
Maybe someday, but I'm definitely going to shoot for, with the Orc Boys for, let's get to 1,500 and then we'll jump to 2 and we'll just take it in increments.
Steve, we'll have that when we can afford to pay somebody to paint our minis.
No, I'll have it before then.
I'll be painting your minis, and I'll be paying someone to paint my minis.
That is kind of part of the goal of what we're doing here.
This one. Trescadillion. So if he has all activated abilities, he has his ability, he has Stuffy Doll's activated ability, and then he just dropped this down and basically fucking one-shot everyone. Or at least one person.
Oh, damn.
Right? Because you can make Trazen infinitely large. Or with Umbral Mantle, you can make him infinitely large and then have him deal damage to himself. And he's Stuffy Doll, so he just... I think he's an underrated commander. He's only 66 cents.
Dude, there's so many underrated commanders. Like, Ovika even isn't considered like a good commander because it's a 6-drop.
Yeah.
But, bro, I was looking at some deck lists for it and was like, this shit hangs.
Yeah. And John's Nyla is only like $1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like who's Clockwork Titan too. We're better with Clockwork Titan. Anyone count on Clockwork Titan?
Yeah, I wanna stream a good apocalyptic battle with a major scene going on. That would be fun. But remember, we can only go 12 hours.
It's a long fucking game.
YouTube cuts your stream off after 12 hours.
I think after 12 hours, YouTube said, hey, we've had enough of your sorry ass.
You just pop a new stream, dude.
Well,
Anyways, everybody tune in. We're finishing this in about 15 minutes.
We gotta move on.
We'll be back on stream after we eat some food.
Let's see. What are you gonna make? What's your army, Joe?
So I'm a huge fan of the Astra Militarum. I like underdogs.
Is that
Okay.
these guys?
No, those guys are Adeptus. Those are Space Marines. Astra Militarum is like the regular human soldiers. Like they're not super soldiers. Like if you compare them to a Space Marine, you know. So their point value, that's how you like we're playing this many points, so you spend that many on buying your minis, essentially. But these guys,
this
get,
one's
like,
got some work to be done.
Little. They just made this
So you're just like a swarm almost.
yeah, but they made this new rule called Blood Brothers.
This
So if
one's...
they share keywords, I can
Got a little
fucking
red touch up
stuff
to go.
with these guys. So I'm gonna get the Death Corps of Krieg, our normal guys too, so I can already use them. But there's a League of Votan, which are like dwarf
All right.
Space Marines. They're like short because they live on a heavy gravity planet. I can use these guys.
Hey,
More than just you.
Joe.
Okay.
Steve's listening to you, and he said there's a difference between underdogs and no chance in hell, Joe.
Yeah. kiss my Cadian ass.
Shots have been fired.
See, the problem is the rules don't reflect how good it can be, because the Cadian military they were guarding the Eye of Terror, bro. And the only reason they stopped guarding it is because fucking, what was it, Abaddon? Straight up crashed the Blackstone Fortress into Cadia, dude. Nobody saw that coming.
Oh, I don't need to do this yet. This one hasn't even been.
Static or
This one go. Oh, okay. I started doing the pipes on them. That's why. This one goes over here for shading. This one. What I had
That
decided.
is static.
it's not portion.
But that is also a living artifact. So if you tap it, it no longer affects the board.
Alright, how do you know?
That's just the rule on that card. Now they say living artifact on them. So like if you look at a new static orb, it says living artifact, but the old static orb doesn't. The one I rock in my deck.
But this would be good for Zoo.
All right.
Freya probably gives you more ways of tapping it. So like that basically makes any token army useless against you. Like go ahead and attack. You're not untapping those ever again.
Hey, look at his comment, Joe.
Hey, I don't think they want that in their library, bro.
Yeah, dude, this library line is so good for Zoo.
Yeah, dude.
You guys are cracking me up.
Hey, I'm just gonna end my turn.
So like, okay, cool. Hey, I'm gonna pay 40 life, draw my whole deck. I can't die.
So you should look at the Oracle text for that card.
So I picked a couple
It's
armies
still
I have a
really good.
chance with, huh? Huh,
Still
Steve?
super good, but they basically made a rule like it just basically means you get to choose if you discard it.
Yeah, but you just put it on your library.
Yeah, so you could do that, or you can just choose not to discard. Just like, cool, I have no maximum hand
Oh,
size.
you have no maximum hand size of it?
Yeah,
Okay, so you skip the discard phase.
yeah. And if you are forced to discard, you choose whether or not to. It's like silly as fuck, dude.
That's so good. I love it. Alright.
I am still really hung on the salamanders, though. That'll be at a later date.
Oh. Dude, and have you read the text on Optimus Prime? He is almost irremovable once he's on the battlefield.
What does this text say?
Okay, so you play him for more than 8 CI. When you have your attack, you bolster 2, and then choose target or choose the chosen creature gains trample. So on a turn,
Yeah, but that might change with
you convert this.
version 10. Who knows?
And then at the beginning of each end step, you bolster 1. Choose a creature with the least toughness on a creature's trouble and counter. When it dies, return it to the battlefield converted under its own control. So literally, like if you kill this, it just goes back like this. It bolsters 2, it goes back like this, and then it dies, it goes back like this. Dude, I think you should make
Dude,
this.
if there's absolutely something you could do with Optimus Prime and Storm and just kill him.
Well, it's Jessica. So you could. Well, it doesn't cast, you just return it.
Right, but off of it. Storming something that'll kill him over and over again.
Like Grape Shot.
Yeah. And then have something with either have something with ETB or
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Death. Creature dying. A
Oh,
death
so
type creature
that's
dying
what
death.
he is.
It's like
Okay, so he's a storm ship trooper.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think Tarzan will be, or Trazan will be fucking neat.
You know what, Steve? That might be the most accurate thing I've ever heard in my life.
Thank you for that simile. Now I totally understand. how weak his army's gonna be. Ah! You are Transformers. Yes, you are.
No, you're Decepticons. I guess they're still Transformers.
They are still Transformers.
Alright, I gotta run on
Cool.
Thanks for stopping by, AJ.
it. Thanks, Kenny.
We always like visitors in the studio.
Steve comes over and hangs out for like 2 hours sometimes.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. I gotta go type up my new cocktail menu.
You knew what?
New cocktail menu for work.
We'll see you on Thursday night.
Absolutely.
All right. I'm planning on it. That's all right. That's 5 times the men to kill.
I need that many extra guys because they only wound on like a 5 or a 6, dude.
Later, Kenny.
Later on, man.
Peace out, man.
Peace.
Hershey! Yeah, blast. All of my things are you wearing? I mean, almost all of them have a weapon and a sword, or
You got a heavy flamer, dual power swords.
dual power swords, heavy flamer.
Power sword with a blaster, probably a las gun. He says, "Remember, Kenny, blast weapons."
That's what those are, right?
I don't know if las guns are blast weapons.
Well, I'll be talking to you before I add anything to anything.
You guys keep talking shit on Astra Militarum, it just stokes the fire even more, just so you know. Okay, I'm gonna school your guys' ass one of these days.
I don't think we're gonna hold our breath, are we, Steve?
I have to build the army first, so don't hold your breath. Maybe I'll slip away a little bit today and grab some.
Yeah, feel free, man. I mean, if you want to do that during break, even, you can come back and show everybody what you got. Or not.
Let's see.
You can do it at the end of the day and head home or whatever. But I'm to the point where I have got very much of this all but done. So I get these two done, and all I'm gonna have are these 4 little pieces of pipe and the 2 pump houses, and then the buildings. So between now and 4:30ish, I'm gonna try and knock these pips down. We'll see what's happening. Did you grab that ladder from over there, or did you leave it over there,
I
Joe?
left it over there. Give me a second, I'll grab it for you. I'm just following.
Hey, Steve, can you bring me a lighter?
I'm just following what the lead designer told me to do and putting scribbles on these purity cells.
Thank you.
Sorry, it came down from the top, boss. Mom, my camera, dude.
Well, that was a good time for me to get up then.
Yeah, perfect timing. We're hitting our stride, bro.
Did he give you a card box?
That's my card box.
Oh.
He did buy a bunch of my cards, though.
Why didn't you buy mine?
Because he's not Mike. Steve's here.
Come on in, Steve. Just say hi to Mom on the way in. Not me, just brunch time. We're getting double down. We'll probably just put this on the break for a minute and eat, right?
Intermission.
Intermission. So, well, it's just us now. Yeah, you can come in. Just say hi to Mom. The door's unlocked, and she knows you're coming.
Sorry, guys. I had to give myself more room to paint. I keep bumping the magnifying glass.
What's that?
Run down the stairs with food in my hand.
No, don't. We'll have more of a big stain. Let's just make some room.
Alright guys, I'm not gonna lie, I had one on the way over.
I always miss it when they do it.
It says spicy slaw. That's just the sticker they have. There's no slaw. Don't you worry about that, boys.
Thank God. Thank God.
I'm gonna come over here. We're gonna go on intermission for a minute, folks. We'll be right back. If anyone's there.
He's,
They can still listen there, too, so.
if you guys end up wanting to try any of it, they threw in some KFC sauce for free. I'm not a KFC sauce kind of guy.
Thank you so much, man.
Oh, you're all
What's
good.
this card? What are these cards?
Those are mine. That one's yours. That's just a proxy one. Yeah, these are. I went through and I found about $400 worth of cards.
Hey, I gave Kenny like $1,200 worth of cards.
You can push that in here anyway. Just kind of clear
I
spot.
feel like that just happens eventually with Magic. You're like, well, I'm gonna keep playing, but I need to get rid of all this shit.
I'm not gonna keep playing. That's why I decided to get rid of all my shit. I'm like, Kenny, you do me a favor by taking these. Because if you don't, I'm gonna keep buying stuff. Oh, come on, thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Steve.
No, you're good. I tried that and I'm like, dude, I love the double down.
I always miss it when they do it.
You get a little bit of spice in, with the bites in there.
That's perfect.
Get some napkins, because trust me, you're gonna need them.
Thank you.
How's this KFC sauce stacked up?
I like the KFC sauce, but you know what? Each their own. I always give it a little finger dip on the side before I throw it on the food. That's just me. But yeah, it tastes good. And I mean, we're talking like that's 700 calories and like 50 grams of protein, which is pretty good for protein intake.
Yeah.
You can get better. Obviously, if you go and get like the frozen chicken breasts from Costco, you're looking at like 120 calories for like 28 or 40 grams of protein or whatever. But this has
some great flavors.
Jacking up on protein.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I'm in a weight loss mode, so I need to have, it's 3-4 grams of protein per pound to not lose weight. And I'm not trying to gain weight. I'm not trying to gain muscle. I have plenty of muscle. So I'm just trying to lose weight while maintaining my muscle. So I got to eat enough protein
To keep the muscle.
and lower my caloric intake to lose the weight. But I mean,
It's because your body just gets rid of protein that it doesn't use instead of turning
yeah,
it into fat.
yes, correct. Now double down on my friend is back. My easy to use
Thank
buddy.
you so much, man.
Oh.
I want to travel so bad.
After I sold it hard, they're good, man.
He didn't take. It wasn't that hard to tell me. I was like, yeah, that sounds good.
It is good. It's delicious. You just have a.
Perfect.
Oh, your resin printer. What do you have set up at?
I don't have it set up at all. What you see, what I gave you was filming.
Okay, so I thought.
I can and should. Here's my issue. I'm doing a restructuring of my abode, and the resin printer is going to be going into a corner with my 2 filament printers. One that's mine, one that's my cousin's who lives with me, and I have a foosball table that I need to throw away. It's in that corner, left over from my brother when he lived there. Because I just rent out my parents' basement and help out my parents with a lot of things they can't do.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm
So
here.
he got a lot of his leftover stuff I need to dump, and I've got a lot of my crap over the years. I'm like, so I'm doing a whole restructuring before I set that up. The filament printer's easy. I can plug that thing in where it's at right now, no issues. The resin, I'm gonna need to make a vent system and put a hood over it so that it's right by the window, so that's already a good place for it. But
Yeah, resin free.
I'm a little out.
Bad.
Yeah, I'm a little out from that. But I did a test run on it. It's great. It does some really good work.
It's nice because it doesn't have the print lines.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the ones that I sent over here, the print lines are very minimal.
Yeah, they're not bad at
Yeah.
all. I have painted minis with way worse print lines.
I was pretty impressed with it, and that's the quality of your STL file and your printer. Now I got the upgraded printer from my cousin, and then I went and paid an extra $35 to get the auto leveler, so it levels itself to make sure that it's the perfect height, so that it won't have messed up print lines. I'm like, it's great.
Yeah,
I
I've
can-
been seeing a lot of stuff about the auto leveler. It's like just super worth it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And my printer didn't need the upgraded thing to get it either.
Is that a program or a device?
It's a device. It just like basically goes on the feet and then it auto levels it for you. So you just press a button and it's like
Every time that it starts the print, you need to make sure that the platform that's printing on is level with where it's at all the way through. So it'll go through and it'll touch the middle, and then it'll come up and touch the middle again. Then it'll go and do 9 points all throughout the entire board and make sure everything's level, and it'll take care of it. And so that the print comes out
crispy.
see here. So my brother was asking if he could get some extra bases, and he's wanting to. He's like, can you make me some oval bases, like the bite-size oval bases, and a couple of the 40mm bases? So I'm like, I'm sure I could find those files. Like a 20-second Google search later, free files for those.
They're not too expensive at the shop, but that would probably save you so much money.
Yeah, he's trying to make his own weird boy. So he's like, what's the size that I compared to it? So I'm like, about that. Or maybe it was a pain boy. I don't remember. He's making an order, and he didn't want to pay the $50 for it. He's like, so what a lot of people do is they'll kit bash their extra orc parts, and they'll put it onto something they print themselves, and then no one ever notices the difference. But yeah, that's delicious.
Good. Yeah, that KFC sauce is bomb.
I hit the sauce, bro. The sauce. Hit the spot, dude. Because he said sauce.
Did I hit the sauce, bro? Whoa, Kenny, how hard are you hitting the sauce?
He doesn't let me on stream.
Probably a good thing. I don't know if that's legal.
What's supposed to be talking? I'll be mainlining fucking the fifth place off on stream.
You throw that down.
Well,
Let's see what you got, Kenny. Let's see what you got.
All right, look on that shelf behind you. First off, I found those.
Oh, you got some Locust Destroyer.
So this was the, I'm guessing the kill team box. The
For,
big- for the death card.
Death card.
I don't know why there's so many in it.
Death
Though.
watch, sorry.
Annie has two. That doesn't look like a kill team. Just from the guess.
Oh, so you might have just bought us a couple of these.
My guess is that doesn't look like a kill team because a kill team for Necrons is like 8 figs. A kill team for Orcs is like 10 to 12 because they're just basically Orc commandos and they're the low cost ones. A kill team for
So
Imperium, like for Space Marines, is probably like 5 to 6 figs.
This is how they used to hand them out.
Because of the Recruit Edition box.
This was a kill
That's
team.
200 points.
This was a kill team.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, so you...
So that's got a few extras. I don't know what came where from. I also found
And this is going to have a sergeant. And a bunch of
You might have bought 2 kill teams.
Captain Artemis is in there somewhere. See this?
Yeah, Captain Artemis is right here.
Was he in that small box? Oh, was that him?
We have Watch Sergeant.
And then this one's. I got this one as well. Is up there.
This guy is... Yeah, he's right here. And you have another captain in that box.
And then I found this whole box, Steve. It's not built yet.
Yeah, no, you got plenty. That's got a
I mean, I don't think I'm gonna have to.
right there.
I don't think I'm gonna have to add much. A couple of flyers, maybe a
You have
drop
2
pod.
Captain Artemises now.
It's okay. You can change one for his fitting, or you can cut some pieces off and put some other things on and make him into like a lieutenant or another captain, and just switch them. They say that's what they say for people who buy a ton of the Recruit Edition boxes for Necrons. They're like, you get a bunch of Royal Wardens, turn those into what do they call them? Immortals. Just like cut
So,
off
yeah, I
their,
mean, I
their
got-
skirt, turn them into an immortal.
I
So you'll
figure
have
I'm gonna.
another sergeant here, another leader unit, whatever you decide on being, and the dreadnought. Plus all of these.
So watch Captain Artemis.
All right, I'm gonna turn this back on. All right, Steve? Or
Yeah, no, you're good.
Joe? I mean, yep. Whoever I'm talking to.
You good, bro? Yeah. it's
So,
kind of
and
a
then
bummer
this-
They don't put what edition it is in the book.
Oh, this is 8th edition.
That's 8th edition. So this isn't.
100%.
This is an old book
Is
then.
this codex
yeah,
still
the-
good?
Probably.
The codexes don't always
The,
change.
the question is, did the Death Watch get their own codex? Because, for instance, the White Scars didn't get their own codex for Knights, so they still have the 8th edition codex you can use if you want. Same with the Ultramarines. So there's a bunch of them that don't.
See this?
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic.
I'm gonna put metal and remove this foam inserts. Put metal and magnets on mine. So you can make them extra deep. See what I'm saying? So I put metal on the bottom. I like it. Alright, let's get these cameras back up. In case we have anybody come in. Now that we've gobbled up our food,
I inhaled that shit, dude.
we finished about the same time, dude.
Kenny doesn't normally inhale his food.
Yeah, so it's definitely an 8th edition. They have a 9th edition Death Watch codex.
Gotcha.
So okay, so I gotta get a new Death Watch Codex and the Orc Boys Codex.
Now the
And then
Kill
the
Team box, or the thing here, let's see here. What year did this come out?
I bought it at the same time.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing it couldn't have changed a whole lot.
I mean, I have a core book coming either way. And I have to get
And you get it for free on
yeah, you can get it
the app. So we'll definitely have to use the app.
Okay, I'm gonna start these last 2 pipes of shading because I think when I do the panel lining and that, it's gonna take care of all the little things I want to fix on these other things. So I get these ones shaded and fixed up. That's gonna leave me these 4 little pieces, and man, then I can just work on the pipe I want to work on. I'm not making any other comments, Joe.
Well, you could if you want. I almost just knocked over this Seraphim.
Dude, you do. I'm gonna let the F-bomb fly like 500,000 times because that'll be what, the 3rd one?
4th.
Ah!
Sorry.
Now shit happens. Just doesn't mean I have to like it.
Absolutely.
So I'm just splotching a little bit of this yellow on where I want the shading to come through. Kind of put it on very light in a little bit of a wider area. And then I'm going to come back and go right through the center and darken it up a little bit so that it kind of glistens in the middle just a little bit, get that little bit of a highlight. And I'm only worrying about this on the top of the pipe where it's going to be, you know, catching the light. That's the idea anyway. Although I don't really have a light direction mapped out in my head. So we'll say it's just up overhead. Kind of the same thing on the housing units. Go down the middle, spread it out. So it's a little brighter in the center. And then we're going to be going back over it with some more of this blood red, and that's where we're going to get our shade. We're going to do a light coat of the blood red and let the yellow come through just a little bit. Try and keep this as clean as I can with the brush while I'm doing this process, because it tends to spread the tip out when you're chatting it on like I'm doing. stripe down the middle there. And then we'll spread it out on this one. A little wider.
It looks like this one is, from what I can see, a 9th edition Kill Team core book. Now this is the core manual. It doesn't have quite all the rules as the hardbound book. And people suggest that you cut this because the binding's weak, and you just put it in a spiral folder if you're going to use it a lot. That's what they suggest.
Because you know what? There's a lot of pictures in that I want to mount on my wall.
So that's what they.
So I may cut it up anyway.
That's what they suggest for you to do. But this should, as far as I can tell, be core rules. Now your figs that you have there, they look like it was just the first version of the 9th edition Kill Team. They came out with another Kill Team for 9th edition later. So yours should all be good. And even if they're 8th edition, we can make it work.
Yeah.
We can figure it
We
out.
have more than enough extra parts.
That ain't no problem. You can get past
Yeah,
anything you need.
I'm actually, when I went in there, Steve, I was actually excited because it's like, holy shit. You know, I mean, yesterday was my I got to feel better purchase.
Oh yeah.
And now you're feeling groovy. 'cause
And
you have
now
two
I
armies.
found that I'm like feeling holy shit because
I don't know. AJ was looking through cards, so it's not probably.
Probably a stack of cards.
that or I've got some kind of critter in the vent of the air.
Oh, do you?
I don't know. It's open onto the outside.
But it's
haven't-
also at the top of the window.
I haven't put a screen, so if a mouse or something were to climb in and climb down into that,
That would be a pretty big mouse to make that sound. It'd be like
well, that wasn't a very big sound.
a Radigan type situation.
Hell yeah, dude. Good reference. I love that movie.
What, Ratatouille?
We're talking real movies.
Great mouse detective, bro.
Oh, that's a real movie?
Oh yeah. Back making animations, so animations weren't a big thing.
All right. I'm calling it on this.
It's good.
Put all the scribblies on the purity seals and books. Love that.
The sacred text.
The sacred text.
You know what you need to do now, though, right?
Send a picture to Larry.
That's right. We talked about it. Good on you, Joe. And let him know we kind of need an answer before we move on.
Yeah.
You know, this is what we're shooting for. Before I, do the other 10 I'm working on, will this work? Something to that effect. You word it where you want.
You got your phone over there? Your camera's just way nicer than my camera.
Find it?
Yep.
I'm so bad at holding cameras still.
You know, Kenny,
Yeah.
if you want to sell that Citadel box, I'll buy it.
The carrying case?
Yeah.
What am I going to transport my army in?
Where are you going to take it? You're playing here.
But I'm also going to go out and play.
Uh-huh. So just throwing it out there.
All right. I'll consider it. Let me see how the next few weeks go. I mean, we are kind of going to put an emphasis on getting us our own teams built so we can start
I
playing.
definitely agree.
That'll
You
help
guys
us.
paint Warhammer, but you don't play?
That'll
Nope,
get
never
us,
have.
Well, being out there, I think will get us a little bit
Who's
more.
the emperor?
What's this word you're throwing around? Heretic?
You know, I went to the gas station to make sure I was stocked up on Diet Coke if I came over to Kenny's house, as I always have to do. They had a little pastry type thing up the front right on the counter. And, you know, all those impulse buys that you regret later.
Yeah.
That was not a regret impulse buy. It was delicious.
What was it?
It was just like a little strawberry
Oh,
cheese bread thing. Strawberry and berry cheese bread.
Just
More or less, it was like
delicious.
a muffin with more fruit. You know?
did you hear what Joe asked me? Said to me a little while ago. He might have to take a break and go to Gajo to up
You
his
know what,
army
hey,
a little
you-
bit.
If you're gonna take a break to go to Gajo, I can go with you right now. I can be your guide. Acadia Stands box up at the top shelf is 30% off.
I already have Acadian Fire Squad.
I know. That would turn your Acadian Fire Squad into an army. But yeah, they have 2 Acadian Stands boxes at the top shelf, 30% off. It'll probably be, I'd imagine, around 140, 150.
And if you
And that's the same type of box.
and
as
I don't
your
know if they'll
Southland
add it
box.
onto it, but I made a purchase over $100 last night, and they gave me 10% off.
They gave me 10% off the other day when I went in just to buy the attack bike. And I took my cousin over there because he ordered a Tyranid box on Amazon. It was like three weeks delayed. And so he canceled and got refunded. And I'm like, just go to Gajo, man. I guarantee you they have it. And he picked it up there and they gave him 10% off. So it was still like 160 bucks because of the combat patrol, whatever that he bought, plus extra. But
Yeah.
you know, that's good. So my question is that 30% off on top of 10% off, or is that, you know, I don't know. But I imagine that the Acadian Stands box, let me see how much the Acadian Stands box is right now, just online. $170. So if you can get it for less than 170, I can call Gajo and I'll ask him right now. See, I'm a man of action, Joe. You say something and I'm like, what?
Yeah, we're doing it.
Let me figure it out.
Okay, I sent to Larry, I sent him a video. I said, here's one to completion. Let us know if these are looking good to you, and we will pull the trigger on the rest of the Tier 2 models.
Perfect. Let him know what tier
lets
it
him know
is.
that we're also waiting on him to finish the rest of the Tier 2 models. But, yeah, dude, honestly, it looks fantastic.
And then
He's gonna love that, dude. I got all the details. I do need to hit one spot with gold, but he won't notice it in the video.
yeah. Right.
Joe. What's next?
That's it. Grab 2 of them.
There are 2 of them.
All right, I'm gonna run with Steve real quick then.
All right. Yeah, just get your fig there, and see ya.
Zach, you still on your partner side?
It's all right, man.
I'm different person.
It's for business.
No, you're not. You're a good man.
It's for business reasons.
Did you look at Discord?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
Phone's right here. Let me know if Larry hits back.
I will do.
I responded, yeah.
Oh, hey, dude. Text failed to send 2 minutes ago.
That's a different text.
But message to Larry Gray failed to
Because I
send.
tried to send him a video and like 8 pictures in one message. That,
So I can turn that off?
yeah.
Ah! There goes Joe's light. It went crashing down. Scared the shit out of me. I almost peed my pants. Live, on camera. You wouldn't have seen it because it's down, there, but see if I can fix that because it's blinding me too. Excuse-moi. There we go. That a little better. Little bit better anyway. So since I pulled out and get it? I pulled out. No, I found out that I have that Death Squad. Joe's gonna go down and get some Estrades. So we're gonna have a couple good-sized armies here coming up here next month. Start streaming some Warhammer. Kind of excited for it. Kind of excited for it. Alright, maybe just... Okay. That... Working on the pipe, hitting the pipe. Just because that's how I roll. Keep my creative juices flowing. Man, Joe better get on this damn stream. He went to go shopping. He better talk to us why he's down there. Or he's going to get his ass whooped when he gets back. Actually, maybe I should be glad he's not monitoring the stream because I can get away with whatever I want. Alrighty. Alright, I'm just gonna keep going on this guy. Just keep it on here. You know, just little dabs to get this shade in where I want it. I believe this is called chetting. I'm not sure the style or technique. Well, that light wants to go again. It's moving. All right, I'm not talking too much because I'm just here alone and just painting. Appreciate you coming in and viewing, stopping by, even if that's all you're doing for a second. So we got lots of fun coming up here down the road. We'll be building our own armies shortly and streaming some games, Warhammer games here. Kill team skirmishes and some all-out 500 to 1500 point battles. I have enough table space. We can have 2 games going at once, so we'll get all the cameras set up for that. It should be quite nice. At least I'm hoping. Yeah, I decided to clean out my storage, my game storage, and because I went out yesterday and bought the Orc Boys. I showed you yesterday, and so today I went in to grab the case because I knew I had a kill team of the Death Watch. I did not know that I had purchased pretty much the basics for a beginning army. I got an easy 800 points already once I get it all built and put together, so that's kind of exciting. Yeah. Alright, looks like I missed one of the stacks on this. Yeah, I hope Joe texts me a picture of what he buys. Otherwise, we'll just show when he gets back. His project's coming up for himself. So Wednesdays and Sundays are the days we're going to dedicate to working on our own armies. Otherwise, we'll be working on our commissions as we have them coming in. If we have them come, well, I'm going to say as. We've got a couple of really good guys right now that are not into the painting, but they're very much into Warhammer and getting their stuff, quality taken care of. So it's going to allow us to be able to build our own kill teams and armies and get out there into the game a bit more. I'm excited, man. This is kind of a turning point for me. I'm very excited because of the changes coming up. I think that we've kind of nailed the timing on this to start doing this. Hopefully we'll be able to get our name out there enough to stay very busy on commissions and get a lot of playing and a lot of content for streaming through playing. I mean, I'll never stop loving Dungeons and Dragons. That's where I started in the gaming. But, it's always time to move on and go do different things. Learn new tricks. It's harder for us old dogs, but we still do it. At least I try. Very much so. I do try. I don't ever want to stop learning and growing. Or working, for that matter. I love what I do. I would like to, be able to vacation, travel a bit more, but that's all right. Day will come. All right, let's finish up this one. We're just gonna get this guy here and that one a little bit better. The other one. I'm going to try to start by, let's clean this off. So I'm going to do a straight line across first. I'll get it up where you can see. So I'm just going to get a little bit of paint on the brush. I dry it off on the paper towel. And then I'm just going to kind of barely touch. I go across in a fairly straight line. And that's going to be the base that I want to kind of make a little bit thicker. And then I'll spread it out from there. And that kind of blends it out a little bit. So when I go back over it, it'll kind of give it that shade effect. So now you can see I've done the blending and that middle line's disappeared, but all I got to do is just go right back down the middle again. And that brightens that up just a touch. So I will get the desired effect that I'm after. And then we repeat the process on the other side. And I want to try to spread that out, but I want to have just the right amount of paint. So I'm going to start the line across and then jump down here when I know, yep. Spread that out just a little bit. And then we'll start again up top. Now this process kind of spreads the tip of your paintbrush out and makes it a little less favorable to use. So I'm using one of the brushes that I use for metal paints because metal ruins your brush anyway. The metal paints do. So this way I'm not ruining an already ruined paintbrush as far as that goes. And it gets the desired effect I want. But I try not to use the same brush for colors as I do metals, just because the metals are so hard on your brush. I said hard on. Sorry, that was an accident. It wasn't a Freudian I mean, I'll just shut up now. Just for a second, though, you know, I rethink my thunks. Alright, I'm getting excited because these are the last 2 long pipes. And I can smoke through these and be done. I moved my camera. Let's get this back over here a little bit. Alright. So now I'm going to be doing red, my blood red, and so I'll pick up this area here on the pipe, make it match this one here. That's the center where the 2 pipes combine. So that piece is the exact same as this piece. So I'll be making that match this as we go through. So as you can see, it's just a repeat because we're doing 2 kits. So I'm going to make this match this, and yeah, here we go. And then I get to do the fine details after I get these 4 pieces painted, and so close. So close, and yet so far. My thighs adored you. Anyway, enough of that. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's get a little spray gun. No, I don't know where my sprayer's at, so that's over there. I'm not leaving the camera from here. So let's not do that. Let's instead, let's blood red. Yeah, that's what we were doing. Black red. Black red. Not blood red. Black red. Oh yeah, I love it. This is not the last time we're going to see the red. And I obviously started going way too thick on that, so I'm going to thin that out. And we'll get that taken care of. It's actually about where I want it when I get finished. to do a half at a time almost. Just spread the paint out thin. You want it to cover, but you want that yellow to come through. That's going to give you your little bit of shade. And it's not going to really pop until we put the sealant on it. That's what's going to really make it stand out. So what I'm going to do is just match the shading to the other pieces that I've done. And that kind of comes with time, as you'll be able to do that easier and easier as you go. I mean, I'm just kind of glancing at the other one, but I think I'm already about there. I mean, in comparison, it's almost perfect. So we're going to let that fly right there. And that's just eyeballing it. But I do have that just sitting off screen. Cheater, pumpkin eater that I am. So my technique on this is to kind of touch where I want it the darkest first, and then spread it from there and thin it out to where the yellow shade shows through. And I'm finding that has the best luck for me. So like for instance on this one here, I'm doing, first I'm going to touch right in this little crack. I want that to be dark. And then we'll go around the edge up to the top. And then we're going to take and we're going to pull all that completely through the top and let it fill in. And just kind of spread it thin so that the yellow comes through. And then that's where I will add a little bit and make it as dark as the other one, or the same approximate shade. And I just kind of mess with it until I feel good about it. And that will come with time, with, whatever you're doing. We'll do this other side now. So again, we're going to, the deep, dark areas first, or that I want darker. And then try and pull it all through. Add where you need to. Get that yellow covered up, but let it bleed through. I didn't want it to be too much of a bleed through, which is why I chose yellow instead of white. And that just comes with, your own preference and how I wanted to make it look and everything. So add a little bit of paint right in this area. Darken this up just a touch, and then I'm going to compare it to the other one just to make sure I'm on point with it. So Joe Gonzo will be back here in a bit. And like I said, he went off to buy himself some figs to build his own army, as we are both in process of doing that. So this one I needed to match up with this guy here. Pretty dang close. And mean, I can't really see it with my glasses, but you just make it match. So I'll get the rest of that colored in now, and you won't even be able to tell them apart. So that's that. So let's just keep going on this. Start filling in these areas, and like I said, I'm going to be touching up all this metal, so I'm probably going to have to go over some of this red again. So it's not a super big deal. I just, again, go around all the edges, nice and thick, and then spread it over the center to let that yellow bleed through a little bit. And then if you ever feel like you get your paint on a little bit too thick, you can. Just to show you, you can dip it in a little bit of clean water and then go over it. And you'll pull off some of that paint, as I just did there. Now I'm going to let that dry and see what it looks like. But I'm going to go ahead and dry the paintbrush off, and I'm going to get underneath all these areas that I got carried away with the metal, and just kind of touch it up, even though I will probably be touching it up again. And even though this is on the bottom of the model, to me it matters, so I do it. Okay, now we're to the top on the other side. This one section, we'll get the edges nice and dark. Make sure it covers good, and then we're just gonna pull it over that center yellow. And then I've already gone through the bottom on all this, so I mean that's it. And there's my shade on that. That's perfect. Lordy, lordy. I hate it when a plan comes together. I mean, I love it when a plan comes together. Something like that. So it looks like Joe's going to get a ton lashing because he's not viewing, even though he left to go shopping. He should be watching because he's shopping for Warhammer. And I'm just going to keep on going on this. There goes Joe's. Joe's camera's beeping at me. Thought I was going to lose it for a minute. Joe's camera, that is. So I'm not talking because I'm concentrating right now. I'm just trying to get this well covered, get a good coating on this here centerpiece. Now this is the bottom of it, that's why there's no shading, and I don't really have to worry about, you know, getting the paint down on that part. I want to avoid the metal because I will be touching that up because of my terrible OCDCACDC. So I'm just painting away, staying motivated, keeping the work flowing and going. My philosophy is, since I've got the setup, if I'm painting, I'm streaming. So even though this is not a scheduled stream, we like to throw down every single day if we're painting. Unless we do it a movie watch day, but Tuesdays aren't a movie watch day. So we were thinking about making this a go out to a game store day. Now that we've got our mobile set up going, we did hit a game store. I think probably one of the best game stores in the Tri-Valley area of Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah, being Salt Lake, Provo, Ogden, and Tri-Valley. And it's Game Grid Lehigh, not to be confused with any other Game Grid, though Game Grid Ogden and Game Grid North Salt Lake are both squared away stores. But Jordan down there at Game Grid Lehigh has definitely done a good job and set his store up right for big events and basically everything, you know. I mean, it is 100% a game store. So, and no, I'm not getting, you know, paid for talking about it. It's just how I feel. Maybe someday we'll have a sponsor and throw shout outs, but for now, you know, I'm just telling you my experiences. So we want to go to Mistos and paint and stream from there, and we'll give you a store rating. Ratings aren't just based on the store, it's based on the location, accessibility, parking, as well as inventory, you know, and the personnel there. Most of the stores have great people, but you know, the play spaces and the inventory will change from store to store. And we're just going to start bringing you a look at all the game stores in the Utah, Salt Lake area. But, you know, we believe in living in reality, so I don't think, you know, we're going to be streaming from the Florida Keys or anything like that. Anything stupid like that. I mean, you know. Find myself holding my breath a lot, and that's a lot of times because of anxiety and concentration. Yeah, same old playlist. I haven't changed it. Don't have a lot of choices, royalty free. But we do what we can. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. We're just throwing some paint down today again on these scenery pieces for Warhammer. Just Joe is off at Gajo Games to upgrade his army a little bit. Now that I've gone through and found that I have a Death Watch army. I'm kind of excited about that. Or the starts of one anyway. For me, it's all started through Kill Team. You know, start small. But I also have the philosophy, if I'm going to do something, do it right. And apparently, I didn't remember doing it, but when I bought the Death Watch Kill Team, I bought a Start Collecting Death Watch or two, because I found my Kill Team was 12 models already built with a you know, a named Crafton in there, and then yeah, so I will have a decent Death Watch painted up here in a couple of weeks, because it's already built, most of it. I'm kind of excited. I didn't even know I had a Dreadnought. That's so dang cool. I did not know I had a Dreadnought. I'm excited to get him painted and get playing. I guess, in all reality, with our buddy Steve, hopefully we'll get him built and get playing. Because they don't have to be painted to play for us, but I will not take them out of the studio until the painting is done. It's, you know, it's just, it wouldn't look good to say, yeah, that's what I do, and not have a painted, you know, model. That's, nah. Not a plan, Stan. You don't need to coy, Roy. Joe, this has been a never-ending project, these scenery pieces, but I did not stop at tier 3 on these. I went all out. I'm gonna wind up having close to 15 different colors in these when I'm done, if not more than that. I mean, there's 5 different colors of metal without shading. So, and honestly, everything I do, there's something I want to do different on the next one. I already wish I would have, I've got some magnets out in my garage that are like super duper strong. And I didn't think about this till afterwards, but it would have been really nice to glue them inside the end of these pipes. Even though they're so far away, these magnets are strong enough that these pipes would have gone and stuck together. And really held there, so. How much you spend, Joe? 300? 400? Remember, we don't have any income. Oh, hating it. We both got the bug bad, man. 260. He outdoes me even. Did you stick with your Astra Militaria or whatever you're doing? Or did you change altogether? No, hell, you can show it to everybody when you get back. Sweet. Votan. Well, I can't wait until we get playing. We just got to get these things glued together and we can get Steve over here to play with us. Play Warhammer with us. I want to be perfectly clear. We're playing Warhammer. That's all. Get your minds out of the gutter. Oh, wait a minute. It's my mind. Everyone get out of the gutter. I don't know whose the gutter is. Never mind. I'm going to shut up while I'm way behind. Yeah, you haven't been here to monitor me, Joe. I've been off the hook, man. Actually, I've not been off the hook. You're lucky you got back on and talked to me, though, because I was saying if you didn't get on and talk to me after you left the stream to go shopping, I was going to kick your ass. Which I'm going to do, but just at Warhammer. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I know. Okay, I only have a few more pieces of this to worry about the red on for now. I will be coming back over it again after I touch up all the metals and make sure I'm kosher on those. But I'm dagburn close to moving on to the next step on the pipes. This will be cool because I could possibly be into the building tomorrow, man. Oh no, I got the pump houses still to go, but I'll be onto those today. So maybe after a day of painting some Death Watch, I can get this scenery wrapped up, and Steve can have it by the weekend. We'll see. No promises, Steve, but I'm gonna try. I want it done sooner than later so we can play. Trust you me. Alright, he's getting these little tight areas here. This is about the last panel. Sounds like Joe might be about back.
About back.
Oh, he's back. Alright, I gotta take a break from this paint job to see what kind of money my buddy spent. See what he spent it on.
Before I forget, receipts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's right here, second drawer, dude.
Perfect.
Or top drawer. Second drawer. Drawer.
Oh!
Little dwarf space marines.
So you did decide to go a whole different route.
No, I did not.
Oh, no, he did not. But you got these as well.
Yeah, because I can do Blood Brothers with those.
Yep.
And then
Okay, so this is what he went down for. The veteran guardsman. Kill team. Wow. Wow. Oh, these are going to be so fun, Joe. He's going to have fun with this one. I didn't want to see that map exactly detailed like that.
decals.
He's like, decal. Let's see the big one. Oh, you got the big one.
30% off, bro. I couldn't not.
Why the hell wasn't mine off? That light's been doing that to me. Wow. So how many in total?
There's 28.
Oh,
in that
28. 20 shock troops, 1 command squad, 1 sentinel, and 2 ordnance teams.
box. That's the Sentinel.
Wow, guys. We're going to have some fun building these things. Sick. $30% off. I couldn't do it. Could not.
He almost bought 2.
Uh,
He had to hold himself back.
I'd be sitting on a pretty sizable army if I bought 2. But they're Astra Militarum, so it wouldn't have actually been that many points. Larry Tex.
I do not believe so. No.
Okay. Well, I'll just get all of them up to speed then. Up to the same point.
Might as well.
foresight last night to think about how I'm dry brushing these. Dry brush before any of the details. So that first guy did all the details and then dry brushing. And I was like, I have to be careful.
If you dry brush first, you can go in and pull the detail out in any way you want, and it'll be perfectly clean. If you dry brush second, you have to be careful how you dry brush because you're going to go over your perfectly detailed things that you just tried to pull out.
And I'm going to call the red on that. Shaded. Move to this guy. And then we're on to some metals, some red touch-up, and it's done with the long pipes! Oh, that was a major slip up. Good thing I haven't done the metals yet because I just painted them all red. The whole model slipped out from my hand. My hand.
Yeah, I've dropped some models while I'm painting them, and I pick them up, and it's just like a bunch of carpet hair stuck to the wet paint. And I'm like, wet my brush, wash it off, undo all the painting I just did. That sucks.
Considered tearing the carpet out of this room, but I just think it would be too damn cold down here.
What you need to get are those like little plastic desk, under desk
Oh yeah, the roller mats.
mats, so that you can just have your chair on that. That's all it needs. You don't need to tear carpet out of nothing.
Yeah, honestly, even just right here, just this section.
And you know what? Now that I think back, it makes total sense that I would have that start collecting because of the way I do things. If I'm gonna get into it, I might as well buy them. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't remember ever seeing the Kill Team box of your Death Watch, so that's why I was like, I knew you had the Orc Boys because I seen the box.
When you told me to talk to that guy about playing Kill Team here, I'm like, well, I guess I better buy the Kill Team book and my supplemental Kill Team book and a Kill Team. And I better learn the rules for Kill Team so that when we play, I can make sure that we are doing it right. So for each Kill Team, there are specific rules associated with said kill team, and there are supplements for those rules depending upon when it was released. So my kill team, I think is the Shadow Vault supplement. I think is what it was for the rules for the Necrons, because that's when my Necron army was released. I believe yours obviously is going to be in the core manual, Kenny, and I assume that the Astra Militarum is as well, but I'm not positive. I'll have to look.
Well, it's
Yeah.
good to know that my core should still be okay, you know.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Your codex is probably all right too.
Yeah, you won't need a supplemental codex for what you're doing. The 8th edition codex for your Deathwatch here, whatever there,
Yeah.
is outdated, but that's okay.
Well, I'll get a new one of those.
It still looks cool.
I gotta get the Orc Boys, and I can always use it for pictures.
Absolutely, as I just said, it still looks cool.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of 2nd edition, 3rd edition D&D books, 4th edition D&D books sitting at home on just like, well, technically they're all stacked up in book stacks, but they will eventually go back to shelves.
Just on display.
Yeah. I've got my dad's 1st edition little pamphlets that are probably no bigger than Joe's palette.
Yeah,
He's in there.
I have some in the other room.
And they are completely worthless, but family heirlooms, because he has written over all of them, like, oh, this AC's crap, let me fix that. Oh, triple the health. Oh, he's got the 40 strength. This is a god. So, yeah, my mom was like, we're gonna throw these away, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna just take that. And then she was throwing away all of his molds. He had molds made for his figs that he had to cast himself back in like the early 80s of like 1st edition D&D, whenever the heck he was playing that.
Yeah.
70s, I don't know. And so I have one wheel of the caster mold that he made for his dudes. So I had the full set of that one wheel. So I'm like, that's a cool, like, it's completely worthless, but it's a very cool family
Yeah.
situation, you know? My first D&D game I ever played with my dad, he's like, well, and this is the first game that any of us played. I was 6 years old, and I'm the youngest of 4, and my dad was tired of us breaking his very difficult handmade, hand-casted figurines and dragons, pulling off their wings, having them do little army battles with army men, and he's like, I'm teaching you how to play. So my very first game, he's like, I need each of you to make 3 characters, because by the end of this first game, I'm probably going to kill
Dungeon
2 of them.
crawl. Yep.
And that's a fond memory that I'll always have.
Dude, early in D&D was like brutal.
My cousin did not want to pay the 20 gold entrance fee per person to get into a town, because that was like half of his gold, because we were still level 1. We had just traveled from the first town to the second town. So he stayed in the forest that night, and he had to make 3 new characters next game. They were never seen. My dad didn't even play it. He's like, and they're dead. All of those guys are dead. So you got to make 3 new characters. And another fond memory of my cousin's genius. And this isn't one that you've met before at all, either of you. He decided that he was playing a paladin, and he had the full set of plate mail. And we were fighting 1 giant and a couple ogres. I don't remember what level we were. It's hard to say, because in 1st edition, a wizard took like 3,000 experience to get level 1, and a fighter took like 800 experience to get level 1. So there's like level 7 fighters mixed with level 3 wizards who have like 2 spells, and like I still have 3 health, guys. I don't want anything getting near me.
Yep, I remember.
Yep, I know. I'm bringing back memories for you, because I know you remember. And the level 6 or level 7 paladin was like basically the hero of the group at this point, because my fighter had lost his soul to Pandora's box with a deck of many things, and he's dead forever. Unless, well, my goal was to find him, but we never got that far. But he decides in this fight against the ogres that he has to stand in the doorway, which he wasn't in yet. And my dad's like, well, how do you get there? And he's like, well, I roll to the doorway. My dad's like, through the stinking cloud, in your full plate, you're gonna roll past these ogres into the doorway. He's like, yeah. He's like, give me a dexterity roll. And he rolls like a 3. He's like, you roll into the stinking cloud, and you don't come out. You're coughing up in there and just like
Dead
hacking
stop.
up a lung, and you do not succeed. And so whenever we wanted to do an epic move, all right, look, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll there. And that was just like canon for all of our games moving forward. So
Everybody rolled around.
we tried and pretended that we were just gonna roll there just to make fun of my cousin who decided to do it that one time. And that's how it happened. And then at one point, I had a paladin who was a halfling who was a knight. So his name was Sir Alton Thorngage. And everyone's always like, Sir! And then they said the rest of my name normal. Alton Thorngage.
Yeah.
Because I made sure that they knew that I was knighted. And so they made fun of me for that for years. That's okay. It was hilarious. I think the funnest thing about gaming, whether it's D&D, Pathfinder, I've played years upon years of World of Darkness, Star Wars games.
Some of the Star Wars ones are fun, dude.
No matter what it is, it's the stories that you can retell later. We were playing a Star Wars game once, and I was basically like a version of Han Solo. I was a scoundrel, and this was, of course, during the time that Jedis were not allowed to exist. So any Force power or Jedi-related people would be hunted down. My cousin and my brother-in-law, my sister was running the game, my brother-in-law and my cousin both decided they were going to be Force adepts who were learning how to be Jedis. And that's why we were on the planet we're on, because there was a Jedi master there who could train us. Of course, we get messed up with the Empire. They pull us all into separate rooms, the Empire Inquisitor, to ask us all questions. And so my sister, without allowing us to, of course, prep each other to not mess stuff up and stick to a certain story, takes us all one at a time to a different room. And we're just sitting on the couch in the front room like, oh man, we are in trouble. Like,
This is not good.
We're in a bad spot. And so she takes us one by one to the other room and basically questions us. Like, you're in a chair, you're disarmed, you are cuffed to that chair, like blah, 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 like feeding us the scene of what's happening, and questions us. The only person who did not say a single thing about us being Jedis or us being here for Jedi-related things, the only person who did not break in that roleplay was me. The freaking scoundrel, the one who wasn't a Jedi. The other two is like, they go in there like, all right, look, I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm a Jedi.
I'm a Jedi. They're like, oh my gosh.
I'm gonna level with you.
Yeah. So how do you think
I
that
am a
game
Jedi.
went, guys?
They all died.
My scoundrel got away scot-free.
What is this space to?
Something you was working on?
It's for the Ghost Star.
It doesn't say, is it the Ghost Star?
Thank you. That's the last thing I glued together.
Because I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, my Triarch Praetorians don't have a base like that. Let's see, before that, I'm like, well, he hasn't started working on these yet. The Silent King's still in the box. I'm like,
Ghost Ark.
It could very well be the Ghost Ark. So I'm like, that's probably Ghost Ark.
Was indeed.
Oh, these are getting to be exciting times.
Y'all ever get into World of Darkness?
I have not.
World of Darkness is a role-playing game without a tabletop. It's all role-playing story emphasis. The room is described. What do you do? Like, you know, you go into the room, there's, in front of you is a shelf filled with old, musty books. You know, there's a fireplace burning, like, to the right with a nice leather chair in front of it that looks like it's been well worn. You know, different things like that. Like on the wall is a painting of a family that looks like they, like for 200 or 300 years ago. And then on the other wall is a painting of that exact family 100 years ago. And then on the other wall is a painting of that family 500 years ago.
Uh-oh.
And it's
We got
like,
vampires.
It's like, okay, so we're in a room we probably shouldn't be in. And there's like, okay, so what do you do? But there's no table. So you describe
Right, it's
the
all
story,
theater of the mind.
setting. Theater of the mind is 100% World of Darkness. And it's great. I love it. There's the Vampires, the Masquerade, a Werewolf, the Forsaken. There's Hunters in the Darkness, or Hunters the
See,
Darkness.
I have played Vampire,
There are
the Masquerade.
fairies, which they call changelings, who basically were taken from the human world to Arcadia, the land of the ancient immortal Fae, and tortured for whether it's 1 year our time, it could be 1,000 years, or 3 days their time. Who knows? But you're taken, and then you're brought back, and some of the fairy essence is still in you, so you are now a changeling. You're part Fae. Now there's the mages. Let's see what else. There was I don't remember what the game was. There's one for werewolves, but it's not werewolves. It's every other were race besides werewolves. But they were made by Terra versus Mother Moon. So basically, the Earth's champions.
Yeah.
That's a great setting, a great game.
I played one. I can't remember what it's called, Dread or something like that.
It was Vampire Masquerade, right? Yeah, I did play that a little bit. Computer-wise on.
There's a computer Vampire the Masquerade game that was pretty sick.
Yeah, that's what I played.
I still have that game. I bought it on Steam for like $3 again, like last year. I've got it now forever.
I played this game called Dread, where it's a role-playing game. There's like a questionnaire for each role in the crew that you're on.
Yeah.
And then, so the DM sends you that, you fill it out, send it back to them, they give you all the details of your character.
Yeah.
And then you play your successes and fails are by playing Jenga.
That's awesome.
So you can purposefully knock down the tower to
fail something?
No, to succeed. Like if you are like, I'm knocking the tower over so I make sure I succeed this task, but your character gets sacrificed in the process.
Yeah.
And it's all like horror themed. We were in like a Dead Space type encounter. I was like, oh god.
I've played like 2 or 3 different versions of Cthulhu, different settings for it.
Cthulhu's good.
And have you guys ever played Paranoia?
I have not.
No.
Have you heard about it before? Paranoia is awesome. You're in some dystopian type future setting. You don't really know much outside of what goes on within your city, your building. And your city is basically just one massive spaceship or building or whatever, wherever you are. And your knowledge is very limited. It's kind of like when you're like in a fallout shelter. Like you've become part of the cult, more or less. And your goal is to accomplish, generally speaking, mundane tasks. Like the person who runs the game is going to say, okay, your group of janitors has been assigned to go to section Red E to clean the floors and walls as there has been a recent spill. And they're like, okay, great. That sounds simple. Let's do it. Okay, but you are rank white. You don't have access to rank red. You cannot ask for help. You cannot go through an area that your rank white doesn't have access to. In order to get to the red E, you have to go through purple. You don't have access to purple. So how do you get there? So basically, you're brainstorming ways to break the rules to find out what you can do to get to red E to complete your task, because Master Computer told you have to do it. Unbeknownst to everyone else in the group, I guess before I get to that part, you can't have a secret faction. They have been banned. You can't have
What are you up after?
any
Skeletal
superpowers.
one.
There's 2 in a row, right?
I've got skeletal bone. I'm looking for the speed paint.
You can't have any superpowers. And superpowers are also
If it ain't
illegal.
over there, you got it.
So now, every player, of course, has a faction that's illegal and a superpower that's illegal. You're all mutants, and you're all in a faction that you're not supposed to be in. Your faction might be the twirly hat faction, and you might meet every Thursday to sit there and twirl your hats together. It's illegal. It doesn't matter what it is. And every person has one. And as you're playing the game, you're going to find each other with these things and find a way to tell Master Computer without you getting killed by the person who just found out that you know of their secret faction. Of course, you have a secret faction and mutant power, and you can't tell the computer. There's a lot of death because these secret factions. Luckily, Master Computer, in all of his knowledge and power, has made 6 clones of you. So as you die, another clone of you, which is you, playing that new clone, comes in with all the knowledge they have of the entire situation up to 5 minutes ago, because they were watching on a feed, a live feed. So now there's 7 clones of you, and you all have super mutant powers and factions, and you're going through just this mundane task of doing things, and the entire game is you're afraid of each other. Because you're all telling on each other, because you hate each other, and you want to gain ranks. And it's just like the most chaotic and fun game of doing nothing. Like, you're just going to clean a freaking floor 2 hallways over. But it turns into, like, you hacking into the system with, like, mechanics tools trying to get into the wall, you know? You hardwire the thermal socks of this orange-ranked person to turn into a basically a cattle prod that you can shock people with. It's just like, it's crazy. The things I've done in that game cannot be described to any other person and have them think that I'm normal. But I can tell you that it's one of the funnest games I've ever played, and they're insane. So if you guys ever get a chance to look at or play Paranoia, get on that.
I'll definitely remember
This
it.
isn't
That actually
Dwarf
sounds
Kill
fun
Team,
as
is it?
fuck.
No, that's just a regular team.
I can have up to 20 of those guys in my detachment.
Yeah, so he can bring 20 of them and 1 leader. The reason we didn't get the leader is because we can't seem to find one that's working in the app.
rules.
So I'll research it more. But you can bring that and a group, a leader or whatever, to go and do things with his Astra and Militaro, because they're both Imperium.
Yeah, it'll be cool when they.
So that I could have some dwarfs with my.
Correct.
But they'd have to be traders, right?
Death Watch aren't traitors.
Death Watch are Marines. They're not Chaos.
They're Ronin Marines. Their faction was a traitor, but they didn't betray the Imperium, so they've all joined the Death Watch.
Okay. So they're faction traded, but they didn't.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
they're basically factionless. I thought my Ronin Marines was a good descriptor.
No, that was pretty
You
good.
basically got an army of samurai Marines that lost their shogun.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me while I go empty myself.
You get through there, you good?
Yeah.
Movie day. Friday is movie day. Yeah, dude, these contrast paints are like, they help so much.
Yeah.
Because it's all stuff I can do by hand. Like, it just takes time.
Yeah.
But like, look at this bone already.
That looks sick.
It's like nicely shaded. I just had to go hit some highlights on it.
No, that's nice.
So I could add bikes and all that to my Death Watch, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, your Death Watch are just Marines, so they have access to bikes.
Any Marine unit.
The only thing you can't get is certain named leaders who are unique to the
So
faction.
like drop
like
pods and
Mephiston or Dante of the Blood Angels
Or
are Blood Angel specific.
Rabute Gilliman couldn't be in your
gotcha,
stuff.
gotcha.
can't.
Oh yeah.
Because he's
primary.
now a Lord of War, and
Mhm.
he's also listed not just as Lord of War, but as the Supreme Commander. And anyone with the Supreme Commander, the Silent King, can be in any Space Marine faction. He can just show up to help.
So I can have a Reboot Gilman?
But he will not gain the benefits.
You want to borrow my Reboot Gilliman?
He will not gain the benefits of whatever faction benefits there are because he's Lord of War. Like, for instance, the way that they say it for Necrons, because I'm not as knowledgeable about Space Marines, so I can tell you the Necron way. Necrons get command protocols. I am the Supreme Commander. I tell you, my Overlord, these are your commands to give to the Legion. You're in the battlefield as the leader of this army, and you're giving commands out there. Well, I, the Silent King, show up. You're not going to turn around and be like, hey, boss, these are the commands that you get. I gave you those commands. I don't get the benefits. You're meant to.
Right.
So that's why they're listed as Lords of War. Lords of War will not gain the benefits of the whatever your combat doctrines, your command protocols, your hive upgrades. I don't know what the heck tier minutes get.
Something like that.
Because they're not a part of your faction. They are the faction. So I guess the heavy is the crown type situation. But
Yeah.
They can join you and fight though.
That makes sense.
And they give benefits and things for being there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The other
Yeah.
Yeah, you
creatures.
get your like within this range bonus type stuff still.
Man, I love Silent King. As I was telling Joe, his is bend the knee. When you're within 6 inches, no matter who you are, no matter if you charge, no matter what.
That's
he
why I'm
has
going to
the
have a
power-
lot of distance weapons when I
Yeah.
fight you.
He has the power that says
Yeah, that's the move.
you fight second.
Yeah.
Anyways, I charge. Cool.
I love the fact
I'm
that you're
glad you
charging in.
charged me.
Look how many of those have guns, though. I mean,
Yeah, that's cool, man.
I'll have to look it all up.
Yeah, Space Marines are interesting just in general because some of them are super ranged based. Some of them are like the Salamanders are flamer and melee based.
You want those like good mix.
But like Ultramarines are just like kind of all right with range. But Ultramarines up close,
The chain sword is
fuck you up.
Dude.
This one guy gets
Dude.
6 attacks.
Absolutely.
Like
My pops is using his Ultramarine army that y'all painted, and he runs up with his Astartes chainsword. He gets 1 extra attack for charging, because his doctrine, no, not his doctrine, because of the warlord trait that the captain's giving. He gets 1 extra attack because he's using a chainsword. He gets 2 attacks this way. He gets a 5th attack over here. Each one of his guys are hitting me 4 to 6 times. And then their leaders, the captain on his own starts with 5 attacks, and then he adds on 2 or 3
because he
attacks.
charged.
Yeah. And it's like, so, okay, yeah, your 23-point fig gets 6 attacks, and they're all 2 damage each or whatever. It's like just ripping through you. And I was like, okay, cool. Go ahead, kill my scarabs.
Like, okay,
Do it.
I
They're
dare-
there.
I
They're
dare
there to
you.
die.
I dare you.
But I call it the.
That is such a you move.
I call it the speed wall. I'm like, oh man, you are awesome. You're
Do
doing
it.
so many great things, and I have just the guys for you to kill. In fact, they're right in front of you, blocking you from getting to the guys that you want to kill.
I would love for you to waste your turn fighting these guys.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
Anyways, on my turn, I'm gonna charge you.
if you look at it and you've got a 5,
Can't you shoot past the scarabs, though?
Not if you're doing a charge action.
I'm
If-
saying, can't you shoot
if
you
you
can't-
are hitting or trying to kill one of my leaders or a character, if they are within 3 inches of any non-character unit and that has 3 or more models, you get what is called, what's it called? Lookout, sir. Lookout, sir means that if they're within, a character is within 3 inches of a non-character unit that has 3 or more, you cannot shoot them. You can melee them, but you can't shoot
So as
them
long as those scarabs are next
until
to...
you kill the other group that's within 3 inches of them. And you
So the
can't,
scarabs have to be killed first.
and you can't get to them because the scarabs are physically blocking you. So
Yeah,
Gotcha.
you can't run past them.
So in other words,
the Necron
you
way.
kill the synopsis spider, and
Yes.
then kill the
Yes.
the scarabs.
And
that's the only way to defeat the Necron.
And it's so funny because every one of the people that I played against, they are like, man, they first hit like, you have a lot of little bugs. I'm like, yeah, but like, are they any good? I'm like, kind of. I mean, they have their uses. Like, how many points are they? Like 15. They're like, oh man, my cheap units are like 4. Like goblins, like they call them grots for the orcs. They're 4 points each, and they're trash, and it's hilarious. And so my brother's like, man, my little guys are 4 points each. Those, what do they do? I'm like, I mean, they're really bad at attacking, but they have a lot of attacks. They're really terrible at defending, but they have a lot of wounds. And so he shoots him with his big gun that kills 9 of them, or kills 9 wounds worth. And like, I remove 2. And he's like, oh crap, this is gonna be one of those
The
situations.
realization.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh.
and how fast do they move? And I'm like, 10 inches. He's like, and they're flying? I'm like, yeah. He's like, so they can ignore all of the terrain as long as it's 5 inches in height or less? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I see what you're gonna do here. As I just run my army of scarabs up right past the middle of the battlefield so I can take the objectives. And he has to spend 2 turns killing 36 wounds worth of trash scarabs who have reanimation protocols, who have a spider there to regenerate them. And he's like, before, my brother was smart, because before it started, he's like, and that thing, that spider there, he's like, what's that have to do with the scarabs? I'm like, it regenerates. Then he was like, okay. He's like, so you're telling me I gotta kill that first? I'm like, yeah. He's like, and you're not gonna make it easy for me, are you? I'm like, no.
Listen, I'm not telling you anything,
So-
but that's what I would do.
It was a super fun fight.
I'm just gonna drop a drop prod right on it.
You can't bring in reinforcements within
Yeah.
X inches of enemy
It has
units.
to be 6 or 9 inches from enemy units, or from the edge of the map, depending the drop pods.
I
you need
know,
from
I
enemy
don't,
units.
I know. I was kidding.
No, I'm all for it though.
However, my Tempestus Scions can come in next to enemy units.
Don't you worry, my guy. I'm gonna teleport away with my Veil of Darkness anywhere on the map. And I'm just gone. Oh, there's an objective over there. I'm gonna teleport and I'm gonna take a squad with me. We're going. Bam.
Boom,
And
captured it.
You can use it on first turn. So one of the really dick moves is for Necrons to take a Chronomancer who gives invulnerability shields to 1 unit. Give him the Veil of Darkness so he and 1 unit can teleport anywhere on the map, even on the first turn. First turn, teleport right in front of them, so you have a squad of 20 warriors shooting them down while having invuln shields.
You're
5+,
mean, Steve.
and just holding that point while the rest of your men can do it. Are those guys going to die? Yeah. Did you just lose 300 points from a 1,000 point army? Yeah, but it's going to take 2 turns to wipe them out. And so by that point, out of a 5-turn game, I'll sacrifice 300 points to get that advantage.
Yeah. Makes sense.
The Hexmark destroyers, the guys with like 6 pistols.
Yeah.
Those guys are called, they're trans-dimensional hyperspace hunters. So what they do for the Necrons is they hunt down specific enemies. So the Necrons say, we met this Aldari 468 years ago.
Go find him.
And he took something from us. Kill him and get it back. And then that just Hexmark destroyer just opens up its own warp and disappears and goes on a random Sherlock Holmes type hunt as it's finding all these pieces on its own out in the universe. And then it shows up at battles that Necrons play and are at, not because it was invited, but because its mark, the thing it's there to kill, is at that battlefield. So it just shows up and it can warp at 9 inches anywhere on the battlefield within an enemy. And his guns, his pistols are 18 inches. So he just warps in and just right behind your lines just starts blasting.
The Glockopus?
Absolutely. And if he kills a unit with his pistol, he gets an extra shot once per turn per pistol.
Oh my god.
So if you pull that up behind, let's say, a squad of 20 Astra Militarum, and your little 1-hit point dudes, and I kill 6 of them, I get 6 more shots.
There goes the rest of them.
Yeah, it's just so funny. I love the lore of the random Necron minis, like the flayed ones that are literally in Necron jail, but they have the ability to escape whenever they want. So they just sit in Necron jail because they're following the laws and rules, but then they sense out in the unknown universe that the Necrons are fighting and they need to help the flayed ones. So the flayed ones just teleport there because they could always do that. And then they fight, and then they go back to jail willingly.
I'm leaving. Okay, you were always allowed to.
You ever watch Support Your Local Sheriff?
No.
Man, that movie's funny. They lock a guy up who the prison's not finished. The jail is not finished. So the sheriff just draws a line with chalk and puts some red paint there so it looks like blood. And his deputy's like, what are you doing that for? He's like, so they think that once they cross the line that they're going to be the next blood stain on the ground. And then they throw a guy in jail who's dad is supposed to be like the big guy of the outlaws, like in charge of that area of this comedy cowboy type western. And his dad goes to break him out of jail, and he's like, what are you doing in here, son? There's no bars. He's like, yeah, but they said they'll kill me if I move. That's how I feel that the flayed ones are. They're just like pretending to be locked up.
They're like, we broke the law. We must obey. Oh shit! You guys need my help? I'm there.
You didn't ask me for it, but I'm gonna show up anyways. And when I show up to help, I'm gonna do my duty, try to eat some human parts, and then I'm gonna go back to jail with my non-existent mouth and the human parts just draped over me because I want their skin.
Warden comes by. You didn't have that face before.
No, I swear, I didn't do
This
anything.
face?
No.
I've always had this face.
Come on, Joe. I've been here the whole time. Trust me.
Brother, when I say I've had this face,
My mama gave me this face. I love that.
I mean, I don't know where she got it, but
The other super cool part about Hexmark Destroyers, when you, my enemy, uses your strategic reserves to bring in units, at the end of your move phase, I can use a stratagem and one command point to warp in my Hexmark Destroyer, because whatever unit you just brought in happens to be the thing that it was hunting. So it comes in at the end of your move phase, and then
gets a move
it
phase.
gets a shooting phase
Oh my god.
in between your move phase and your shooting phase. So it warps in, it just shoots the crap out of your guys, and then the rest of your turn can continue as normal.
Yeah, I like the Necrons a lot. I like the lore behind them a ton.
The lore's just it's so rich. I love how it's growing. 'Cause
I
it
feel
was
like they
nothing.
were really slept on, and that's
Yeah.
why they juiced them up.
Yeah, absolutely. They're like, you guys don't understand how crazy these Terminators are. You just know that they're Terminators. They're not just Terminators. They have a whole we own the galaxy vibe.
They did technically own the galaxy at one point. Kinda. Mostly owned it.
The problem is, after the 10 million war with the 10 million year war with the gods, that the other races were just barely starting to get brought into. The Necrons turn around after they've won, and they see a fully powered, ready to go, developed Cort army. Million strong. Billion strong, perhaps. And next to them is the same exact strength army of immortal elves who are psychically powerful. And these Necrons, who just basically got the crap kicked out of them fighting gods for 10 million years, turns around and see these two armies that were designed to fight them, and they're like, we're going to sleep. We'll see you guys once your civilizations have just destroyed themselves from
Fuck you, and I'll see you on Friday.
just hanging out. Yeah, it's so funny because we can see the future with our technomancers, and we see when the Eldari race would crumble. And like, all right, well, we'll come back then, right after the Eldari race has
Kaput.
created the Chaos God. We're not worried about the Chaos God at all, but because we don't use the warp, we'll just show up and do our thing.
Yeah, Necrons are way cool. They're like such a major part of the overall lore too, and people just kind of like disregard them because they weren't like.
Every race has a history that involved the Necrons, whether they know it or not. They all refer to the War of the Gods, or the God War, or the 10 million year war, or whatever each group calls it. And even the Eldari children were told stories of the Necrons, and they treat it like, oh, it's the boogeyman, the Necrons are coming. And then the Necrons show up when the Eldari children are like, wait, that was real? Wait, we're using bows and arrows. What do you mean they have space lasers?
Hold up. Their guns do what? They rip you apart at the molecular level.
Their
hell
swords
no.
don't actually cut through armor. They just vibrate through 4 dimensions so that they aren't cutting through your armor. They're just slowly moving through different planes of existence and coming back and moving your armor around the weapon? What?
Yeah, their tech is like some of the coolest tech.
In lore, in actual use, are the exact same strength as,
Yeah.
as the Space Marines. But in lore, they sound awesome.
The shit, I just lost my train of thought.
There's a Facebook page of Warhammer.
It derailed.
It derailed.
Warhammer has a Facebook page where they talk about releases like 4 years ago when they released the Overlords. They're like, their lightning will shoot down mountains and all that. Like, what do you mean their lightning will shoot down mountains? That has the same strength as like one shot from a tank. And a tank ain't shooting down a mountain with one shot. And the Overlords, they only gonna use it once. What are you talking about? I love your enthusiasm here, Games Workshop Facebook page, but let's bring this back to reality. It will shoot a crater of 8 feet wide into a mountain. Not take down a mountain with one shot.
First of all, let's be realistic.
Yeah, it's if you ever find that there's some big trolls on the Facebook page for Warhammer, like, okay, the story behind that's cool, but that's not what it actually does.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna happen with any,
Fuck.
honestly, any weapon in the game, right? Like the bolters, storm bolters, they shoot explosive projectiles that are so powerful, you have to be wearing power armor to be able to shoot the gun.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They're heavy weapons.
But in reality, that storm bolter on this Grey Knight is more or less the same as fucking a bolter in Acadian
That's
Guy.
exactly right.
Like,
Does it look cooler? Yes.
big time.
Is it, in fact, realistically cooler? No. The arm holding it is a little better, so that adds some
Yeah.
benefit, but the weapon itself is the same.
Dude, I saw some of the veteran guardsmen, and he was wearing like a power armor, or a power fist,
A power fist.
and the dude painted it red, and it looked like Hellboy's arm, and I was like,
That's like they have a power fist straight from the Blood Angels.
yeah. Your service was distinguished enough to earn this power fist.
And how did you get it? By finding it on the battlefield while you were fighting next to and or with Blood Angels. And then we just let you keep it.
Yeah.
That sounds like the whole Ukraine war thing, where they were like, hey, all of you farmers and citizens, any of you that collect weaponry from the opposing force can use it and keep it forever. So now every farm in Ukraine has like 2 or 3 tanks. They just use it to plow their fields and or fight enemies. You know, it's working either way.
My favorite thing about the whole situation was like the YouTube videos. That's how you hotwire Russian Amtrak.
Oh no, they Ukraine did a great job with the social media aspect of that fight.
They had a thing to get funds where you could go pay to have memes painted on their tanks and stuff.
They were geniuses with how they did things in that aspect.
Dude, their president was an actor. He was a comedian. He
Not
wasn't
only
even
that,
like,
he owned his own production company. So like the guy knows how to put on a spectacle. And he the first leader of any army in the past 240 years, ever since George Washington. He was the first leader since Washington to fight in the front lines of his people. So that is a distinguished, like,
I don't know, Dwight
an
D.
accolade that
Dwight D. Eisenhower. I guess he wasn't.
not when he was
wasn't
president.
in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, you had your Andrew Jacksons, you had your Grant, Ulysses S. Grants. All of those people were military men who became president.
That's right.
But they were not president and military men at the same time. Since Washington. And I think that's pretty cool.
Especially because he was just like
He's just a dude.
a dude.
Yeah, he is Cadian. He's like, we're going to war, boys. Okay. What are you wearing? I'm wearing this flak jacket. I got it from that stack over there. Give me this helmet and this.
Hey, why are you
weapon.
wearing jungle armor? We're fighting in like open desert fields. So look like I give a damn.
He's like, does it stop bullets? I'm in. But I mean, the story of Warhammer would be told that the Emperor of Mankind was actually him.
Oh yeah.
Because the Emperor, did you know that, Kenny? That the Emperor of Mankind has been around since like BC times.
Since prehistoric times.
And he, in history, because Warhammer is based in this universe, in this world, in history, he
is some of the major
shows up as counselors and or leaders or conquerors of the known world because he saw into the future and knew that this thing had to happen in this way. So he influences it, either indirectly or in some cases he turns out to be Alexander the Great and it was directly, you know? So the future would say that the whole Ukraine situation, he is the president. Like that type of thing. I mean, that's
but he's also probably poop.
Yeah, he could be anyone.
He's like, I have to have this war happen. So
this war happens for this reason, and that's Warhammer history because it's all grimdark future.
We're there.
Yep.
I learned that yesterday.
Oh, yes, you did. Cash a card.
Citizen, report to work at the lower levels. 5 worlds.
Caiaphas Cain. There's a story where he accidentally discovered a Necron Tomb World and awoke up all of the Canoptek defenders of the Tomb World. And one of his survival moments is like the fact that he has done a whole bunch of subterranean underground war, so he's able to navigate that. So he like immediately turns around and leads his troops into like the tunnels where everyone doesn't know where they're going and they're all lost except for Caiaphas Cain, and he gets them all out and stuff. He's a cool dude. He's one of the reasons why the Astra Militarum are cool. There are very few reasons to enjoy the Astra Militarum.
There's really only a handful of distinguished members, you know what I mean?
Yeah, perhaps Trazyn the Infinite will collect Caiaphas Cain one day. Who knows?
I'm sure he's bummed out he missed out on Commissar Yarick.
Did he?
Maybe.
Did he? Who knows?
Might have his body.
Who knows? He could reanimate him, shock him back to life. Yes, Commissar Yarick.
Let's get a technomancer.
You are not hurt now, but you're still in prison forever. Welcome to your new life and myself. I'll come by and look at you. I'm not going to let anyone else in here. It's just me. He's so, like, anal about his library that he doesn't let others in there. Of course, barring the Silent King or his command. Because the Silent King gets to do whatever he wants.
Whatever he damn well pleases.
I can't wait for Kenny to start talking about his faction and their rich histories. That'll be the moment that we know that Kenny has arrived.
Some rich history to be had, too.
If he's going Death Watcher Orcs, I mean, that's great.
Yeah, both ways.
He's going to be like, did you guys know that the Orcs call all humans Umis? And they also say that when someone's doing something stupid that they're doing Umi things? Because they think that clothes, buildings, art, they think all of that is a waste of time, and they can't understand why such a powerful war god like the Emperor, because they see his statue on every planet with a giant flaming sword and giant golden armor, so clearly he's a war god. They can't see why the war god of mankind would allow their people to do such stupid time-wasting things besides fighting. So everything now that's dumb is Umi things.
That's because you're humans.
And they call the Tyranids the bugs. The bugs.
The bugs.
And they call the Necrons the bot boys. They like fighting the bot boys. That's unbeknownst to them. That is what they were created for. So they get some type of internal extra joy from fighting the bot boys.
Genetic, like, this is what I'm for.
Or they're like, something clicks and they don't understand it, but they love fighting the bot boys more than anyone else. Low key, it's because they were designed to fight the bot boys.
That's literally what they're.
So I picked a good one to go against you,
No,
huh?
Orcs are great.
That was pure luck.
The chaotic fighting of the orcs on the tabletop fights well against Necrons. Because
Gotcha.
a lot of other people have structured plans and ideas of how they want to do things. And orcs have such a random mix of things that it's like, well, this guy wants to do things this way, and this guy wants to do things this way, and they're all going to do things their way in the same fight. So that's
I
cool.
was telling Kenny when
Yeah, I
we were
look
down there
forward to it.
yesterday. He was like, what do you think? Should I get the salamanders or the orcs? I was like, okay, the salamanders are badass.
They're so cool.
Definitely. But the orcs are going to come with more variety. And Kenny, you're going to have so much fun playing orcs because they're the silly guys.
The dumb lore that Kenny's going to learn from the orcs, how Gork sneezed, and that's why there's an entire chaos strip in the sky now. Or how when the orcs travel from one planet to another planet, once their Wa finally gets big enough and they have one Wa controls the entire planet, they can make spaceships to go to other planets. And they travel through the warp with windows so that they can open up the windows in space to shoot their guns at enemy ships coming by, forgetting that they can't breathe in space, but then it not mattering because they don't think that it matters, and because they don't think it matters,
It doesn't.
it doesn't matter, so they just open windows from their ships in space to shoot rocket launchers
You
out at other
imagine
ships.
you're coming by an orc ship. The window rolls down, and I imagine it's a hand crank roll down.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this guy leans out with a gun and starts shooting you. I'd be upset.
The orcs have whenever you travel through the warp, if you do it wrong and you don't have your shields up, you get attacked by demons in the warp as you're traveling through. Well, the orcs do that intentionally. They don't have a shield because they call it in-flight entertainment.
Demons, we got this.
Did I tell you guys about the orc who went to heaven?
No.
No.
So, there's an orc and his entire tribe that went to heaven. He was traveling like all orcs do from one planet to another through the warp, and he fought a huge, giant demon. And he barely beat it. And it was the coolest fight that he's ever been in. He loved it so much that they just flew around in the warp with their shields down, hoping that other demons would jump them and attack their ship. Well, they killed many demons that way, to the point that the demons started telling each other, hey, this ship that looks like this that's out there, yeah, don't fight it. They're doing this on purpose. So they were just flying around in the Chaos Warp, being ignored, and they were pissed off. So they left the warp, and they went to Cadia. And Cadia is where the eye of the warp is, like, basically, eye of the void or whatever, being held right there.
Uh-huh.
Cadia is where the Astra Militarum are holding the planet to fight
Chaos.
the Chaos Invasion, because that's where the Chaos Realm interlaps with the Material Plane Realm, and there's the basically wormhole where they can come through. So Cadia is basically keeping that on lockdown. Well, they weren't defending their backside, and in comes this orc planetary warship that launches an attack on the moon next to Cadia, the unmanned moon next to Cadia, and the Cadians are just looking over. They're like, what the heck are these orcs doing? Well, they took that to use it as a launching platform to launch their ship through the Eye of the Void into Chaos Realm because they were pissed off that the demons were ignoring them. So they were going where there was a lot of them. And they went through the eye of the world or whatever into the Chaos Realm and it just started killing planets of demons because they were so effective at it. They got to one planet where there were no demons. And they were so angry, they just started shooting the ground. Well, that planet turned out to be one of Korn's gigantic blood demon planets, where it was a demon. And so when they're shooting it, instead of blood popping out, demons pop out. So they're like, oh, we found the demons! So they're fighting the demons infinitely on this planet, and then eventually, the planet kills them. Well, Korn, the god of like this blood and death or blood and pain or whatever it is, liked that orc faction so much that he brought their dead bodies to his main planet, Korn. And he resurrects those demons every day. And every day they get to fight orcs until they die. He resurrects those orcs every day. And every day those orcs get to fight demons until they die.
But yeah, because
And then the
Korn
next-
just wants violence.
Yeah.
Like,
And then the next day the orcs are resurrected again to fight demons on his planet. And that, guys, that is orc heaven.
That's orc heaven, dude.
And one orc planet ship finally made it.
That's so fun.
They get to do the good fighting every day. Kenny, that's the type of luscious,
Silly shit.
in-depth histories that you're going to be able to learn as an orc war boss.
Yeah,
I think
orcs are dope.
When Commissar Yarrick was killed by the Chaos, I was talking to Joe about it. The orcs
We're pissed.
were angry because Commissar Yarrick, one of the leader of the Cadian, like the Astra Militarum.
No, he was.
Yeah, he wasn't Cadian.
Rohanian.
Yeah, he was one of the big leaders of the Astra Militarum, and he,
That was the Great War.
yeah,
That's the one that like made the Octarius segmentum a thing.
exactly.
But yeah, they respected Commissar Yarrick, and
He was the boss of good fighting. He made all the worthless, weak Umis into good fighting, so they loved it. And when the Chaos killed, when Angron killed Commissar Yarrick, the orcs, everyone thought the orcs would be happy with that and love the Chaos for having a good fight. Well, they were
the spray
angry.
bottle though.
It's over on the desk.
They were angry with the Chaos because they killed the Umi who brought the good fighting. So now they fight the Chaos out of anger, not out of enjoyment for fighting, but because they killed the good fighting,
Because they're pissed off.
which is pretty cool. I love how orcs how they work.
Dude, their magic is the funniest shit.
I like that.
The orc that went back in time killed himself so he got two of his favorite guns instead of one. He didn't mean to go back in time, but when he did, he found out where he was. He found out where he was going to be because he'd already been there, and he ambushed himself. It killed him, and of course there was no issue with space-time continuum because he didn't think it existed, so it didn't.
Isn't that going to cause a paradox?
Nope.
Paradox?
But
Nah.
no, I killed Paradox. It's over there.
Yeah, I knew Kenny was going to love playing orcs just because.
The way that they are, they're just so fun.
They also have some of the funnest paint jobs.
They look cool. They are hecka hard to fight, and I mean they are good fighting. That's the whole thing.
Well, I figured I'd do orcs because it's going to be my gateway to Blood Bowl.
To what?
Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl. Oh, the game.
Yeah.
It's these tiny little gold things. If you mess up, you have to repaint that whole section.
You know, this is like streamception, because I'm watching Joe paint, and then like 5 to 8 seconds later, I'm watching the stream change to watching Joe paint that I just watched him do.
Yeah. The delay messes us up sometimes.
It's crazy.
I think my screen's frozen because I'll like look at it and it like doesn't have my piece on it yet, and I'm like, oh, and then it catches up, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's funny.
Facebook's the worst too.
My Facebook has the longest delay, even worse than YouTube. YouTube's delay is pretty bad though.
I don't have a Facebook. I deleted that long ago. That's why I'm shocked that you actually have people who watch you on Facebook. That's the thing still?
Yep.
Facebook, bro.
Although lots of people are probably going to drop it soon because they've been illegally selling medical information to people.
I deleted them because they illegally sold information into China and gave that away already. So I'm like, and you're gone forever. Because they finally lost enough court battles that they gave the ability to permanently delete your information that you've given them when you deactivate your account if you want to delete it permanently. And I'm like, all right, done. Did that. Everything's gone forever.
Right, because when they didn't delete it, it's like, what's the point of deleting it? I might as well keep it. But once it's an option to actually fully delete it.
Yep. I jumped on that bandwagon. I'm like, it's deactivated, and now it's gone.
And it's gone.
They don't get any info on 2016 Steve anymore.
Man, and that's a crazy Steve.
Well, let me tell you, he was into some things.
So much words on their shoulders.
You get that message back from Larry?
No. No, he doesn't answer. We just go ahead.
Continue
Well, he already
on.
okayed me for the darker gray on the shoulders and stuff.
So you'll piece the things up that you can.
If he's unhappy with anything, I'll switch it up and
What's
stuff.
up with the archer there?
What archer?
Right there, little dude. Nope, all right.
Oh, I was testing something on the base with the panel liner. You have to use a gloss coat before you panel line because it's got thinner in it, so it'll strip the paint. If it's got a matte lacquer on it, the texture of the matte lacquer allows it to capillary out
Yeah.
and stuff. So it'll look great for buildings and stuff to hit it with some matte and then hit it with the panel liner because it'll seep out and look grimy and stuff.
Yeah.
That's my intention.
Sick effect.
That's cool.
Not great for gray nights.
That's cool.
But
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna-
Great not look.
So I'm gonna do on these guys. Matte panel liner, and then I'm gonna brush on a couple areas that I want shine.
Oh, I mean, you're going crazy on that, Kenny. You gotta calm down over there.
I will. When I'm done.
take it easy when I'm done.
Well, I'm done. Next time it won't be like this. Future Kenny remembers past Kenny. He ever evolves.
Oh, he's always evolving.
Kenny just changed from a Squirtle to a Wartortle.
Are we talking Pokemon terms now?
We are. You evolved. You're not a Blastoise yet, Kenny, but you get there one day.
Yeah, what you got? 5,500 points in army.
Yeah. A 5,500 point army. That's level 55. That's what you'll need to get the Blastoise level. I'm just waiting for the game that someone beats me. Like, not because I'm unbeatable, but because I'm just doing better than people playing against right now. I'm waiting for the next game, for when they're finally good enough to give me that good old beat down. And I'm like, great, that means that I can become better now.
Cool, now I can pull out more stops.
And now that you've beaten me, I need to find a way to make that not happen.
Well, like, the problem where your dad is going to struggle is that he just hasn't invested in the army very much.
No,
you know?
100%.
Because he could give you a run for your money with Ultramar. It's just he only's got like 10 figs.
Yeah. 12, I think.
So,
Whatever it was.
yeah. Oh, because you have the 3 aggressors.
The 3, the aggressors, yeah. 6 captains, 7, and then the 5 intercessors. 12, yeah, 12. 1 sergeant in there.
Oh, I'm super happy with how this came out.
Hey, if you guys end up needing more bases, like just bases to paint, I found the STLs for those, so.
Yeah. We went and bought a bunch. Like, I have some extra oval ones right there and stuff. But yeah, that's like a super, super good idea.
My brother gave me the idea of making bases to fit an army of like 3 or 5 scarabs, so I don't have to move 1 scarab at a time. I can move all 3 by picking up that base. And I'm like, I might do that. That sounds good. Put them all.
Well, because they all have
together.
most stuff that's in one unit will have that thing where it's like you can move the 1, and then all of them just have to be within 2 inches after that.
Correct.
Right?
So, but like,
pile in or whatever.
if I get, let's say, those Grey Knights moving that exact way, they're all standing on 1 base. In that way, I pick up that base and move it instead of having to move each Grey Knight individually. So I'm gonna play around with that idea, see how that works.
You could get that base and magnetize it so they just stick on the base, and then if you want to break them up, you just.
That's hopefully the plan. I don't know. That was what I was gonna go with. I also thought about making a little hook or pinning a hook in there that can hold the bottom of their, slide their base in a little bit to that hook and make it so it can't fall out. But I was worried about destroying any of the.
And that's something that we can start adding to your minis anytime you want.
We have a fuck ton of magnets.
Cool. Was it from the Magnet Baron?
Mm-hmm. No, I wish. Theirs are so good.
I love the Magnet Baron YouTube commercials where it's like some people think that it was the ancient actions of the Emperor of Mankind, and some people think that it was the God More, and others, even fewer people, think that it was the Magnet Baron. Okay, well that was just me. But really, let me tell you about the Magnet Baron. They just go into their little pitch for their commercial for the Magnet Baron into their episodes. I love that. You'll see the Magnet Baron a lot once you start watching a bunch of videos. You'll see his little things everywhere.
People love the Magnet Baron.
I mean, he's doing good work. He's a man who plays the game and wants the ability to change his things up. So he came up with a way to do it himself, and now he's got a company that sells it. Very similar to y'all. Love the game, want to have figs that look good.
We did magnetize a bunch of Larry's stuff.
My stuff will be interchangeable.
I think that's good. Let's see.
Oh, what point range we hitting for, guys? Oh, let me change some stuff.
Yeah, let me just swap this
Extra
out
heavy
for this
melter
out.
here, heavy flamer here.
Oh, wait a minute. I need some long distance. Okay, let me get a sniper here.
See, what I'm just doing, I say, these guys are equipped with this.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
Well,
let's
for
rephrase it.
for home playing that works, but like playing at a store, lots of people don't like that.
If you can play in stores and they're fine with it, if the entire unit is that way.
Yeah.
But that's not how it always is the case. Luckily for me, with most of my Necrons, I'm good that I can set that up how I want to.
Yep.
That's why I have a 5,500 point army. So I have an interchangeable 1,000 point army in any way I want.
Yeah, I mean that's ends up what like everybody who has a bigger army. That's why, so they have the variety to easily change
I've
things
got
up.
like a crap ton of warriors who have the Goss Reaper and the crap ton of the Goss Cannon, and it's like you gotta have that flexibility. Gentlemen, I'm gonna head out.
All right, my brother. Thank you very much.
I'll watch y'all online.
Thank you for the sandwich.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I'm excited to see Wednesday nights if you guys are going to stream, or the work from Wednesday nights from what you guys get done.
I won't be here this Wednesday.
He won't be here Wednesday. I'll throw something down tomorrow night.
Because I know y'all are going to be painting your own thing.
Yeah, I'm going to start, because those are built, and I hate glue. So.
Oh, you're like me. I also hate glue.
But Joe did say when I bought the orcs that this is going to be a good experience for me to glue them all together.
That'd be fun.
He said that with an evil smile on his face and
He just gave me the evil
and
smile.
a venomous chuckle.
He just gave me the evil smile. Yeah, I'm going to do that with some of the white scars I want, just so I can force myself through that experience. I'm like, how many of these can I get through before I hate myself? 1, 2. Well, that's why I'm having you guys start with that one, so that when I'm doing it on my side, I can look over at your work and
So
be like,
what
I
I
can
think
have this done without me putting any effort into it.
what I think I'm going to do is work on this for about another 15 or so minutes, and then we're going to end the stream, and then we're going to come back on about 6 o'clock.
Yeah, sounds good.
So
You're all
yeah, you
good,
just
homies.
wait till 6 and then.
Have your little
Tune us
dinner
in.
break, your chill session, maybe relax, stretch the legs, watch a clip or two.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
Grab
let's
some
do that.
beverages.
Just 1 second. I'm gonna end this right here. We're gonna come back in a bit, so we'll see you shortly.
Hour and a half-ish.
Well, this is what I like to do when we end. Where to go?